Oof. Dude, I swear to God, this always happens. Why does my mic always get muted? But, like I was saying, thank you for coming to the grand premiere of episode 11 marathon thing. So tomorrow, if you guys didn't know, we will part 8 of the final part, a part where you get to decide your own fate, will be premiering at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get hyped for that. There's 2 routes, so at the end of the video you get to decide route A or route B, so it's up to you. But that's the best part. I don't know. It's been 2 years, guys, so I don't know what to say. But thanks for coming. This is Yandere Stories episode 11 marathon. So we're going to be watching episodes 1 through 7 nonstop. And at the end of... yeah, I totally look rich, right? It's my little blazer thing. But at the end of the freaking marathon, I'll be taking any Q&A questions that you guys have for like probably half an hour. And then, yeah, I guess I'll see everybody tomorrow at the grand premiere of episode 8. But for now, I hope you guys enjoy episode 11 marathon. As you can probably tell, I'm kind of like, oof. I'm kind of like nervous. But I hope you guys enjoy. I've worked really hard on these videos, so yeah. See you at the end of the live stream.
Where do you think you're going? Get back to class.
Did you just say something?
Shit, it's you. The snot-nosed little punk that for some reason still attends our school. Why are you even here?
That's none of your business.
I don't know who you think you're talking to, boy, and it's that exact attitude why you shouldn't even be permitted into this school. Hell, if it was up to me, I would already called the cops by now. But if it wasn't for that damn principal trying to keep the public eye away from our school, then you'll most likely be gone by now. And to think you were our outstanding role model last year. What a waste.
That's right, you bastard. Leave. Just like every other shitty adult in my life. Damn. This bruise still hurts from yesterday. I better get it checked out at the nurse's office. I walked at my own pace to the nurse's office regardless of the fact that class already started 20 minutes ago. As I made my way to the nurse's office, I heard a whimpering noise in the girl's bathroom along with 2 unfamiliar voices.
Ah, are you going to cry, Skank?
That's what you get for thinking you're above us.
Watching her whimpering like a hopeless dog just pisses me off even more. Just like my spit, you belong in the trash.
And since she's now a walking trash can, I better throw out some of my trash too.
Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing?
Huh? Who the hell do you think you are?
Shit, it's Yuji. What is he doing in the girls' bathroom?
Are you trying to peek on us or something, you perv?
As if. Who would want to peek on some loose sluts like yourselves?
What was that?
You heard me.
Then what do you want?
I don't want anything from you. Although, I'll tell you this. It pisses me off to see shithead people like you who think they can pick on someone just because they're easy targets. If you two scram right now, I'll make sure to go easy on the face.
Is that a threat?
Whatever. I had other things to do anyways. Let's go.
Right.
I looked down and gazed at the girl before me. As she looked back into my eyes, I started to question why I even cared enough to do such an act. I mean, this shit happens all the time in Japan, so it's nothing new. Well, I guess. What's done is done. My arm then reminded me about my untreated bruise. Damn. Stupid bruise.
Are you okay?
This is nothing. I've had worse. You better clean yourself up, or you'll be late.
Oh, okay. I want to,
See ya.
wait,
After all that fiasco, I finally headed towards the nurse's office to get my arm bandaged. I just hope that this bruise will heal up by tomorrow morning, cause dealing with this pain sucks. And so after the nurse's office, I head towards the classroom like normal. And of course, as usual, the sheep in the class just stared at me with disgust as I make my way towards my seat.
Have you finally decided to join us, Mr. Sakamoto? The usual response from the usual delinquent. How sad. You know, believe it or not, education is actually very important here. So do me a favor, and try not to bother the other hardworking students. You know, the ones that actually care about their future.
I hate this school. Every day I get treated like garbage, just because of what happened last year. It's not like it was my fault. That asshole had it coming.
Yo, Yuji, my man. I hear there's a lot of hot chicks from our school going to the mixer tonight. You wanna come?
Yeah, especially since that the head of the soccer team is going, we definitely should go.
Nah, I think I'll pass. I have to go home.
For what? We both know you're not busy.
Oh, come on, man. The only reason these chicks agree to go is because you were going.
Yuji, come on. This is the only chance for guys like us to get girls. And you know that.
What? I never agreed to anything. What the hell?
They would have said no otherwise. Come on, man.
I have stuff to do tonight, so I can't. Sorry.
You mean going to the bar?
What? How did you...
Oh, come on. Word spreads fast. Everyone knows that you work at a bar. Saying that you're 21, it's pretty sleek, bro.
That? And I hear that your mom works as a prostitute at that same bar.
What was that?
You heard me. Unless you want the whole school to know, you better.
And even after explaining everything, no one believes me. Damn it. Whatever. It's not like it matters. Who cares anymore? As long as I can make my mom proud by graduating from this dump, then I'm happy. By the time I finished my thoughts, the lunch bell rang. About time. I'm starving. I guess I better get some melon bread, then go to the usual spot. So with the 500 yen I had in my pocket, I went to the school's cafeteria and got myself a melon bread. I then made my way to my favorite spot in school, the roof. The only place that will actually put my thoughts to ease. Although today was different than my normal lunch routine. This time, after eating my lunch and laying down with my eyes closed at one of the benches, I heard a faint voice echoing in my ear.
excuse me?
What now? What the hell does this person want with me? Do they even know who I am? I slowly get up from the bench while squinching due to my eyes trying to adjust to the daylight. As my vision became clear, the person who woke me up from my daily nap turned out to be the girl who was getting bullied in the bathroom this morning. It's you. What do you want? Can't you see I'm trying to relax here? Do you even know who I am?
Yes, of course. You're the person that saved me this morning. If it wasn't for you,
So what? You're here to thank me for saving you? Don't bother. I don't need your thanks. It just so happens that I was passing by, and that huge racket those girls were making pissed me off. Don't go thinking that I did this out of the kindness of my heart, or some bullshit like that. Now, if you excuse me, I'm trying to catch up on some sleep before lunch is over.
Oh. Okay.
And without another word, I went back to my nap, although it was difficult considering that she was still here and staring at me while I tried to get comfortable on the bench. I mean, who can go back into a nap if someone's hovering over your shoulders like a creep? I swear. What do you want from me? Can't you see that I'm busy?
I'm sorry. It's just that I can't just leave without repaying your kindness. After all, you saved me.
So annoying. Fine. You want to repay me? How about you buy me lunch tomorrow? Will that suffice?
Okay, I can do that.
Now that that's settled, can you leave?
Sure. Please, excuse me.
The girl left. I finally got her out of my hair. But seriously, why is she so intent on paying me back? I will never get some people. After a couple minutes, the bell rang. It sucked for me, because I didn't get enough time to sleep, especially since that girl was bugging me. I headed down to class and resumed my boring everyday life. Nothing really changes around here, to be honest. Although, it would be nice if everything was back to the way it was before the incident last year. Those bastards ratted me out and turned the whole school against me. What the hell did I do to deserve this? I just wanted a normal school life where I could forget about my problems at home. But wishing and complaining won't help me now. All I can do is keep going until everything is done. Then hopefully, I could find a good paying job after I graduate and move out of this godforsaken town. But first, I have to keep working after school to pay the bills to help Mom. We barely scraped by this month. I just hope they give me more shifts this week so I can have a little extra. The final bell of the day rang, and it meant that I had to get ready for my after-school job at the bar. Even though some people knew about it, thanks to those bastards, the teachers don't seem to care enough to stop me from taking the job. After all, I am a delinquent. As so they call me. So I packed up my things and headed towards the front of the school. I don't really stay to chit-chat with anyone, considering everyone is afraid of me. But, whatever. It's not like I need any friends.
Yuji saved me. Just like a prince. He has to be my prince. He has to be mine.
Last time, on Yandere stories. Leave, just like every other shitty adult in my life. I started to question why I even cared enough to do such an act. I mean, this shit happens all the time in Japan, so it's nothing new.
Oh, come on, man! The only reason these chicks agree to go is because you were going.
Yuji, come on. This is the only chance for guys like us to get girls. And you know that.
What? I never agreed to anything. What the hell? Do you even know who I am?
Yes, of course. You're the person that saved me this morning. Just like a prince. He has to be my prince. He has to be mine.
As I walked to school this morning, I find myself walking into the same girl who insisted on giving me a reward for saving her the other day. At the most, all I did was threaten the girls who were bullying her. Nothing notable, to be honest. But I guess she took that intervention personal, if it meant for any kind of reward. Maybe she was constantly bullied by them and that finally made them stop? Who knows, honestly. As long as it means that she will stop pestering me about the whole situation, then I'm good. I already have enough on my plate as it is, trying to deal with my life at school, as well as my life outside of it. I don't need to babysit some girl who can't stand up for herself. That's life, you know. If you can't stand up for what you believe in, then you deserve to be eaten alive. I had to learn that the hard way. But in a sense, I'm glad I decided to act instead of listening and taking all that bullshit from them, even though it ruined my reputation at school and got me kicked out of the soccer team. I tried to walk past her without making any kind of eye contact. She notably tried to pursue me closely from behind, as though she was a baby duckling. I stopped abruptly and turned around with irritation. God damn it! Why are you following me?
I just wanted to say good morning.
Fine. Good morning. Happy?
Yeah, good morning.
She looked bothered by something, and at the corner of my eye, I noticed the same two girls who bullied her in the bathroom yesterday, standing and glancing her way. I then looked back at Megumi in the eyes in an assertion that nothing was going to happen. I get it now.
Sorry.
Don't be. It's expected, I guess. One little quarrel with them isn't going to solve your whole situation after all. I guess for now, I'll let you follow me around. But don't bother me when I'm trying to relax.
Oh, okay.
Gradually, her facial expression changed and started to look more relaxed. I guess my words made her feel a little more at ease by the looks of it. I just hope she'll eventually leave me alone after all this mess. She followed me to the school's main entrance. I went to head towards my locker to switch out my regular shoes with my school-appropriate ones. I haven't noticed before, but apparently her locker was a couple lockers to the left of mine.
Ow!
I looked her way. I noticed her fingertips started bleeding as though she touched a thorn of some sort. As she took out her shoes from her locker, a bunch of tacks started falling out. I guess this might be the doing of those girls. Pretty sure this is their form of revenge for humiliating them. But seriously, how pathetic could they possibly be, picking on her for something I did? Great. Now I feel like I just made her situation worse. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
But you're bleeding.
Oh, am I? I didn't notice.
Jeez, you're so careless. Hold on, I think I have a bandage on me somewhere.
Wow, you're really prepared.
Well, I mean, I have to be. I need to bandage my bruises somehow.
Oh, I see. I wish I knew how to bandage my bruises.
Huh? What was that?
It's nothing.
I relentlessly looked through my belongings and locker for a bandage for a good 2 minutes until I stumbled upon one at the very bottom of my school bag. Here you go. It's pretty wrinkled up, but it does the job.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks.
She smiled at me as she thanked me for giving her an old worn-out band-aid. It's actually been quite a while since I've seen a positive expression on someone. I tried to hold back any kind of reaction by keeping up a poker face. Yeah, don't worry about it. After Megumi and I swapped out our casual shoes with our school shoes, we started to head towards our first period homeroom classrooms. Alright, you can stop following me now. Well, see ya.
Hold on a sec. I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah? What?
Well, I told you I'd repay you for saving me the other day. But I forgot the lunch I made for you at home.
You made me lunch. You could have just bought me something instead of doing that.
Sorry. I just thought that making something would show you how thankful I am for what you did. I didn't think I'd forget.
Like I said before, you're hopeless. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter at—
No! I won't forget about it. It really means a lot to me. Please.
Fine, chill out. If it means that much to you, you can just give it to me some other time.
But... Hey! Are you free after school?
Huh? Why? I wonder what she was planning. I mean, either way, I won't be able to since I'm scheduled to work after school. What a pain. She seems like the kind of person who hates getting let down and would resort to self-harm. At least that's the kind of vibe I got when she freaked out about repaying me.
I was wondering if you could come over to my house so I can make you something myself.
Sorry, I actually have work after school.
Can't you ask for the day off?
I wish. My boss is more stubborn than a mule. I doubt he'll even let me come in late.
Could you at least try?
Fine. I'll text him later and see if he'll let me, but I doubt it.
No. Please, text him now.
Uh-huh. Right now?
Yeah.
Okay then. So I slowly reached for my phone in my pocket and took it out in front of me. I was hesitating of texting my boss since he's one of those old stubborn penny pincher people who hates the idea of a day off of work. But since it's to prove my point, I have no choice. I texted him and he quickly replied to the message. Wait, what?
What did he say?
He's totally okay with it. But that's not normal for him. Is he sick or something?
Maybe he had a change of heart?
I mean, it's possible, but it's very unlikely.
Don't sweat the details. He said yes, so that's all that matters, right?
I guess.
So, are you coming over later?
Sure, why not? If it means you'll stop bugging me about this whole repaying me back nonsense, then so be it.
Okay, let's meet up in front of the school gates after school.
Sure, sounds good to me.
Alright, see you later then.
Yeah. Am I really going to go through with this? I mean, this is a girl's house after all. And considering I'm a delinquent, will her parents think ill of me? Why am I thinking so hard about this? She's just going to give me food and that's it. Nothing's going to happen between us. Right? I mean, I barely know her. The only thing I know about her is the fact that she can cook. And her name is Megumi. But there are rumors about Megumi that's been floating around ever since the beginning of the school year. According to those rumors, her parents are rich and they live in this big mansion somewhere. But I mean, since they're rumors, I wonder how much of it's true. The day went by as quick as you'd expect. Nothing changed except for the gradual anticipation for the end of the day. Even my lunch was normal. I'm surprised Megumi didn't come up to the roof to bother me again like the last time. I guess she might have found some friends to spend time with at lunch. If so, then more power to her. The final bell rang, and it meant it was time for me to go and meet up with Megumi in front of the school's gates. I slowly took my time walking as my thoughts wandered about countless possibilities that could happen, if we're both left alone. I eventually reached my destination, and saw that she was standing aside so she wouldn't be in the way of others. She noticed me, and with a gentle smile, she waved as the distance between us grew smaller with every step.
Hey!
I'm here. Now what?
Now we wait.
Wait for what?
My chauffeur.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he should be here in about 10 minutes.
Wow, I didn't realize how rich she was. I heard the rumors that she came from a wealthy family, but I never actually seen it up in person before. Then again, it's not like I'd cared enough to notice such things. After a couple of minutes of waiting, the chauffeur finally showed up in a nice jet black car that looked like it was worth over 7 million yen. I couldn't comprehend such a luxury, let alone having your very own personal chauffeur to drive you around. Trying to bring my head back into reality, I took a deep breath and got into the car. We both sat in the back seats of the car. We both didn't talk, nor started a conversation. I guess we both were just nervous. I tried to stay cool by giving off my poker face while Megumi just sat there smiling and humming to some weird tune with glee. After what felt like hours, we finally arrived at her estate and got dropped off near the front doors of the house. The house itself intimidated me, considering my house is just an old rundown apartment in comparison. I try to stay calm and cautiously follow from behind.
Welcome to my home.
Yeah. Thanks. last time on Yandere stories. I get it now.
Sorry.
Don't be. It's expected, I guess. You're so careless. Hold on, I think I have a bandage on me somewhere.
Wow, you're really prepared.
Well, I mean, I have to be. I need to bandage my bruises somehow.
Hey, are you free after school?
Huh? Why? I wonder what she was planning. I mean, either way, I won't be able to since I'm scheduled to work after school. What a pain.
Don't sweat the details. He said yes, so that's all that matters, right?
I guess.
So, are you coming over later? Welcome to my home.
I don't know why, but this house of hers feels off somehow. It might be my nerves since it's my first time being invited into a girl's house. It also doesn't help that it's no ordinary house, but a huge mansion. I slowly walked from behind as she led me towards the living room where, to my surprise, was relatively spacious. I took a seat on one of her fancy couches.
I should go prepare some tea. I'll be right back.
Okay, sure thing. Everything in this room looks like it would be worth millions. I'm almost afraid to get up and explore the room some more, since I could break something. So, I just resorted to just tilting my head around and squinching in hopes that I would amplify my vision. Surely enough, Megumi came back with some hot herbal green tea.
Here you go. Be careful though. It's hot.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks. Megumi sat right across me. We both just sat there while sipping our teas in silence. It was awkward since none of us had anything to say, but I guess I would have to be the one to break the silence by asking her about what she had in store for me. So, what exactly are you making?
Oh! I was actually thinking of making you a homemade bento. I asked one of my maids to prep the ingredients ahead of time, so it shouldn't take too long to make.
Oh, sounds good. By the way, I wanted to ask you this.
Huh? What is it?
Where's your parents? I'm surprised they haven't showed up or anything.
Oh, them.
Megumi paused for a minute, as she looked as though it was a complicated question to answer. She then started to fiddle with the tips of her hair with one finger, and finally gave me an answer.
They won't be home for another 5 months.
Wait, 5 months? Why so long?
They're busy with overseas affairs. I only get to see them a couple times a year. Honestly, it's not that bad. I have my stuffed animals in my room, and the maids to talk to sometimes.
Wow. It must be really lonely.
Only sometimes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. I'm used to it. Anyway, I should get your bento ready. Stay put. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, sure thing. The atmosphere around us got a bit tense after I questioned her. I shouldn't have been so nosy, but I guess it's too late for that now. Megumi left without another word, and after what seemed like half an hour, she came back with a 3-stack bento box wrapped in a pink cloth.
Here you go. I hope you like it.
Well, I mean, it's food. But thanks.
No, I should be the one thanking you again. Making you a bento doesn't even come close to repaying my debt to you.
Crap. If that's her train of thought, then that means she'll more than likely never leave me alone. Then again, I know what it's like to be alone. I'm no stranger to it. Even though my mom is still around, I hardly ever get to see her since she took up 2 jobs to support us. And it didn't help that I lost all respect at school, along with any potential friends I could have made. It must be really lonely for her as well. Who knows how long it's been since she last talked to another person like this. I really don't know what to do in a situation like this. Should I let her get close to me? I mean, wouldn't that make it more difficult for her to make friends if she started to hang out with a delinquent like me? It would only make me feel guiltier if she was targeted by more bullies from other schools if she's seen with me. But at the end of the day, it's her choice if she chooses to be associated with someone like me. Well, I think this is enough for me, so don't worry about it. I don't want you to be indebted to me forever. Also, I should probably get going. Thanks for the—
Wait! I almost forgot to make you some hot lemonade to go with your bento.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll just buy something to drink on my way home.
But I wanted...
You know,
Huh?
if you're lonely, I guess I don't mind talking to you.
Really?
Yeah, although don't get too close to me during school. I have a pretty bad reputation, and I'm afraid I might make your situation a bit worse.
That's totally fine with me.
With a smile on her face, she said it was totally okay with her. But was it really? I wonder.
Hey, do you think we could, exchange numbers? It would be nice if I could text you.
Yeah, sure thing. Here you go.
Thanks!
You seem pretty happy about this.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only person who isn't a family member in my contacts. Now I actually have someone to text!
Yeah, that's good, I guess.
So, are we friends now?
Well, I wasn't sure what to say to that. Are we friends? I mean, you both have each other's numbers now, but I guess being considered friends with her shouldn't be a big deal. If she knows what she's getting into, then I guess it's okay. It's just hard to get used to calling someone a friend after what happened to me, you know? I guess we are.
Really?
Yeah. Just don't make a big deal out of it, okay?
Fair enough.
And just like that, we both became friends. Megumi's face seemed a little bit brighter after that. I guess now that she has a friend, she won't be as lonely anymore. I guess I won't be as lonely either from now on. After that day, our relationship would slowly evolve, and being around her felt almost normal for the most part. I didn't necessarily eat lunch alone anymore. No longer did I find myself having time to fight the other punks from other schools. And surprisingly enough, I was able to concentrate more on my schoolwork. Things just seemed a bit better than it used to be. But I try not to get too used to this kind of lifestyle. Who knows when I'll go back to the way it used to be. During the middle of class, I got a text message from Megumi saying that she wanted to discuss something with me. I wonder what could it be? I texted her back saying that I was in the middle of class. I don't really like getting in trouble when it comes to class time, even though I'm a delinquent. Kind of ironic if you ask me. But my grades are important to me. She quickly replied that she wanted to tell me during lunch at the usual spot if that's the case. I agreed to hear what she has to say. She then sent me a happy emoji face saying that she'll see me then. If she's so happy about what she's going to tell me, then it means it's something not too serious. I guess I'll just have to wait till lunch to find out. And just like that, lunchtime came around. The minute bell rang. I quickly grabbed my belongings and started to walk towards the roof. I didn't really rush since the message Megumi sent me didn't sound serious. When I finally made it to the roof, I got jumped by Megumi from the corner.
Surprise! Did I scare you?
Of course not!
You're such a liar!
Whatever.
Anyway, I brought an extra bento for you today as well. Enjoy!
After Megumi and I exchanged phone numbers, we started to text each other frequently. One day, she just casually claimed that she was going to bring me bentos from now on, since what I ate was not good for me or something stupid like that. I didn't really argue since I know she'll just force it upon me either way. That, and I guess I get free lunch, so it's a win-win situation, I guess. Thanks, I guess. By the way, you said you wanted to tell me something during lunch.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll tell you once you eat your lunch, okay?
Seriously?
Yeah, now eat up.
Fine, whatever. Today's lunch was white rice with teriyaki chicken and vegetables. It was delicious as always. I honestly don't miss my old lunch habits of eating prepackaged food with juice from the vending machines. After a couple of minutes, I finally finished eating my lunch along with Megumi. I then glanced at her for a response. Well?
Fine. Since you don't work today, I was wondering if you maybe, wanted to hang out after school or something?
That's it?
Yeah.
That's fine, I guess. My heart started beating quite quickly. I never actually hanged out with a girl before. I wasn't sure what would happen or what we would even do, but since we're just hanging out, I guess we would go to an arcade or something of that nature.
That makes me so happy! I can't wait!
The bell rang as it should. Our lunchtime was over for today. I was hoping to relax a bit more before heading back to class, but I guess that ended up being a bust. I guess I'll see you tomorrow in front of the school then.
Yup, I'll be waiting for you, Yuji.
We made our farewell for now and went to our classrooms. I was kind of excited. I haven't hanged out with anyone in a long time. I think the last time I hanged out with someone was back in junior high. That feels like ages ago. I mean, so much has happened since then. But that's all in the past now. And just like that, it was the end of the day. The bell rang, and I organized my belongings into my bag. I wasn't really in a rush, to be perfectly honest. I took my time, so I could mentally prepare myself. It probably sounds stupid coming from a delinquent, but I was never really good with girls, so doing this is kind of a lot. After some time, I finally reached the front of the school where Megumi stood. Hey.
Oh, hey! Are you ready to go?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Let's go then!
Sure. We both started walking towards the shopping district near our school. Even if the district wasn't big like Shibuya or Harajuku, it had its fair share of things one could do after school. On my days off, I would occasionally stop by and go to the local arcade to pass the time. That's usually where I would run into thugs from other schools. Hopefully we won't run into any today. It only took about 20 minutes to reach the district. We pretty much stood quiet on the way there. I wonder if this is how it's going to be for the rest of the day.
Oh wow! Look at all the shops they have!
Why are you so amazed by everything? They're just shops.
Well, I never had a chance to actually go shopping. I would usually buy my clothes online, or my parents would have someone to personally design my clothes for me.
Wow, that's pretty, unfortunate, I guess. At this point, I shouldn't be surprised. She pretty much gets everything she wants thanks to her parents.
I know it might sound like I'm spoiled, but none of these things make me happy. All I wanted was a true friend who isn't after me for my parents' wealth. A friend who accepts me for me, not for what I have. That's all I really want.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize.
But it's okay. I have you now.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Saying that she has me now is kind of weird. But I guess that's her way of saying that she isn't lonely anymore? Who knows? Either way, I guess I'm kinda glad that she at least seems happy. On the other hand, I'm kinda indifferent. So, where would you like to go?
I guess I want to try a parfait. I saw people eat them on TV, but never actually had the chance to try one.
Okay, sure thing. Pretty sure there's a shop that serves parfaits close by. She followed me at a steady pace from the side. We eventually reached the cafe place where they served parfaits. We both took our seats and ordered what we wanted. I didn't really get anything cause I'm not really into sweets. As for Megumi, she got a pretty big parfait. In the end, I ended up helping her eat the whole thing since she couldn't finish it all by herself.
So, where would you like to go?
Me? Isn't this supposed to be your day?
Well, I want to go to places that you would enjoy as well. I want you to have fun too. Otherwise, I'd feel bad.
Well, if you insist.
So, where would you like to go next?
I haven't been to the arcade in a while, so if that's alright with you.
Of course! I'm not particularly good at games, but it sounds like fun.
Alright, I guess it's been decided then. We walked towards the arcade within the shopping district. It only took about 5 minutes from the cafe to reach the place. As we drew closer, thoughts of the days when I was 8 years old flooded in. Back then, everything seemed so simple and didn't have a care in the world. My parents were still together at the time, and would often take me here to play after buying groceries. But after everything went downhill, this place has been the only place in my life that hasn't changed in the slightest. I guess that's the reason why I find myself here so often. Suddenly, Megami said something that would snap me out of my daze.
Oh wow! There's so many games here!
Well, yeah, that's why it's called an arcade, silly.
I knew that.
Sure, being here with Megami brings back those memories. It doesn't feel like I'm alone anymore. We both entered the arcade. Megami seemed to be attracted to the crane games there, but I tried to convince her that those games are pretty much a sham. Although I couldn't really stop her from playing them since she wanted a plush toy. After about an hour, we then decided to go somewhere else. As we walked towards the antique shop, I heard a faint voice from behind.
Is that you? Yuji?
Huh? I turned around to see who was calling me. Sanai? What are you doing here?
I should be asking you that.
Oh, this is
Megami, right? I've heard about you. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too, Senpai. Damn it! Ah! She got in my way. She ruined everything. She has to. Soon.
Hey guys, before the video starts, I just want to say that this video has been sponsored by myself, cause no one wants to sponsor the Yandere, man. Anyways, you'll have the chance to win a 50... Last time, on Yandere stories. I wanted to ask you this.
Huh? What is it?
Where's your parents?
They won't be home for another 5 months.
Wait, 5 months? Why so long?
They're busy with overseas affairs. I only get to see them a couple times a year. Honestly, it's not that bad. I have my stuffed animals in my room, and the maids to talk to sometimes.
It must be really lonely for her as well. Who knows how long it's been since she last talked to another person like this. After a couple of minutes, I finally finished eating my lunch along with Megami. I then glanced at her for a response. Well?
Fine. Since you don't work today, I was wondering if you, maybe, wanted to hang out after school or something?
That's it?
Yeah.
That's fine, I guess.
All I wanted was a true friend who isn't after me for my parents' wealth. A friend who accepts me for me, not for what I have. That's all I really want. But it's okay. I have you now.
I turned around to see who was calling me. Sanai? What are you doing here?
I should be asking you that.
Oh, this is
Megumi, right? I've heard about you. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too, Senpai.
I never really expected to run into my old soccer team manager, let alone being called out by her in public nonchalantly. Ever since the incident, we slowly grew apart and stopped talking to each other. I honestly don't blame her. If she kept talking to me, she would have had rumors spreading, tarnishing her reputation. Although, as she approached Megumi and I, she didn't seem hesitant nor afraid of being around me. Is it because Megumi was with me, nullifying my image as a delinquent? Who knows? But what I do know is that, for some reason, she isn't afraid of talking to me anymore. I felt a bit relieved that someone aside from Megumi is willing to give in the effort of approaching me regardless of my social status as a delinquent. But I wonder how long that would last.
So what are you doing hanging out with someone like Yuji? Is his face so terrifying that you were too scared to say no?
It's almost scary
Hey,
how good I am.
why do you have to call me out like that?
I'm kidding. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's not like this is anything new.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean, you guess? We used to mess around like this all the time last year. Those were fun times. Although, this year is kind of lonely without you on the team.
Well, things happened, so...
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I should probably get going. I don't want to bother you two on your little date.
It's not what...
See ya!
You think... There she goes. Jeez.
Well, you two seemed a bit friendly.
Yeah, she was the soccer team's manager when I was on the team. If I remember correctly, I think she's still the current soccer manager.
Ah, I see.
I never imagined I'd run into her here. Usually she's too busy with the team to do anything like this after school. She must have had a day off or something.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I guess. Anyways, let's get going, Megumi.
Okay.
Megumi and I made our way back to the school's gates. We waited for her personal chauffeur to arrive to take her home. She looked very satisfied along the way. I guess it was a good thing that we hanged out today. I wonder if this would turn out to be a frequent thing we would do from now on. Either way, if it doesn't get in the way of my job, then I don't mind the company. After a couple of minutes of waiting, Megumi's chauffeur arrived.
Looks like my ride's here. Thanks for today, Yuji. It made me really happy that I got the chance to spend the afternoon with you.
Hey, come on, it's not a big deal. I just hope I don't bore you with us going to the arcade and stuff.
No way! I loved seeing you having fun playing games.
Really? Well, you're welcome.
I hope we'll get to do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, bye. I'll see you tomorrow at school then.
Alright, see ya. And just like that, the day ended with us saying our goodbyes. This day actually turned out to be pretty interesting. I guess it's because someone I knew talked to me for the first time in a long time. I wonder if that's just a one-time occurrence. Or maybe we'll end up talking again. But from a social standpoint, it wouldn't be a good idea to be seen with me in public, especially at school. The next day arrived, and I went through my daily routine to get ready for school. I walked to school like I would normally do, but this time something was different. As I approached the lockers located at the front entrance of the building, I suddenly heard a familiar voice followed by a greeting.
Good morning. Oh geez, you look awful! What's up with that bedhead?
I quickly turned around to see who it was. It was too early to be pissed off, so I was planning on giving them a death glare, 'cause that usually does the job. What was that? Huh? Sanai?
Yep, the one and only.
What are you doing?
Well, let's see. I was just giving my fellow classmate a proper greeting like normal people do.
No, not that. I mean, why are you talking to me? You know about the situation I'm in, right?
Yeah, and your point is?
My point is that you shouldn't.
Good morning, Yuji.
Oh, Megami! Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you usually stop by in the morning to see Yuji?
No, my locker is a couple lockers down from his.
Ah, that makes sense.
Don't get the wrong idea, Sanai.
Who said I was getting the wrong idea?
Never mind.
You sly dog. I'll leave you both be. I'll talk to you later, Yuji. Bye, Megami.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See ya.
bye.
I looked over at Megami. She didn't seem too thrilled right now.
It's almost
I wonder what's
scary how
bugging
good
her.
I am.
Did something happen to her on the way to school? I should probably stop speculating and just ask her directly. Hey, Megami? Are you feeling alright?
Yeah, of course.
And with a smile, she went back to normal. It was kind of odd, to be frank. I wonder if she's a bipolar or something. But after a couple of seconds of thinking about it, I decided to just scrap the idea, since it really doesn't have any relevance now. Alright, if you say so. After a couple of minutes of getting my stuff together, like putting on my school shoes, Megami and I headed towards our classes. We said our goodbyes as we parted ways. School resumed as usual with no noticeable changes. I gradually started to get hungry after each class period, so my anticipation for lunch grew more intensely. Slowly but surely the lunch bell rang, and I quickly rushed to get the usual vending machine bread and drink. I was suddenly stopped in my tracks by Megami, who alarmingly was trying to get my attention from behind.
Yuji, wait!
Huh? Is that Megami? I turned around, wondering what Megami needed from me during this crucial time of the day. We usually would meet up at the roof, but this time, she caught me beforehand.
Please, hold on a second, Yuji!
What is it?
I actually made a bento for you.
Really? You didn't have to do that.
No, I wanted to! Plus, eating all that vending machine food is really bad for your health.
Since when was my health a big concern of yours?
You big idiot! Just take it, okay?
Okay, fine.
Let's go.
Guess I have no choice. Megami went on ahead to our spot where we would have lunch together. I followed from behind. We both had a routine when it came to lunch. We would just sit there quietly until one of us finished our lunches, then do whatever. Usually Megami would just sit there and read a book while I, on the other hand, would take my nap until the bell rang. But for some reason, it felt like this time around it would be different.
I hope you enjoyed the bento I made.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks. Megami started to stare at me very closely as though she was examining something on my face. Why are you staring at me like that? Is there something wrong?
Huh? Yeah, you have pieces of rice on your face.
I was a little embarrassed when she told me that, so I tried to wipe my face with a little handkerchief I had in my back pocket. Did I get it?
No, you still have some here.
Megami reached over with her right hand and picked off the leftover pieces of rice that I missed with my handkerchief. As she did, she slowly moved a little closer to me. My heart started to race a little bit, but I tried to keep my composure. What only took seconds for her felt like hours to me.
There we go. All done.
Thanks, Megami.
My pleasure.
She suddenly realized how close she was to me and then quickly moved away.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Hey, Yuji? I want...
Oh, I guess we better get going.
Yeah.
We both departed from our regular spot without another word and made our way to our classrooms. As usual, Classes resumed while I was spaced out thinking about what just happened these past few days. It was hard to believe that an old friend of mine started talking to me again. It felt like time was rewinding itself back to the days when everything was normal for me. But obviously, it was too good to be true since the other students at this school still look at me like an animal. Some time passed and it was that time of the day again. Time for me to head home. Luckily, I didn't have work today, so I could just lay back and relax while catching up on some shows on TV. I started to pack up my bag and headed straight to my locker. After approaching my locker and changing my shoes, I heard my name being called out by a familiar voice.
Yuji! There you are!
Huh? Sanai? I was surprised that she would call me out like that in public. But considering that she straight up talked to me this morning, that surprise has slowly started to dwindle. I still wasn't used to the idea of her casually talking to me, but I went along with it regardless. So is there something you wanted from me?
What's with that response? You should be honored that a girl such as myself is even talking to you.
Alright then, bye.
Hey! Wait! I was just kidding. Jeez. You should lighten up a bit, Yuji.
Well then what?
Fine. This is out of nowhere, but can I ask you for a favor?
Depends on the favor.
Well, I was hoping you could help me out with putting equipment back into the storage shed.
Why don't you just ask one of the guys on the soccer team to help?
Well, you see, they all kind of went home early.
Seriously? They left you with cleaning up? Tch, those assholes.
Can't be helped.
I guess I have no choice then. Fine, I'll help you.
Awesome! Thanks a bunch, Yuji!
Yeah, don't mention it. Instead of getting my things packed up and ready, I did the exact opposite. I never anticipated for my plans of a relaxing afternoon to fall through. That's Sanai for you, I guess. She's always been hyperactive ever since I could remember. It felt like ages ago, but it's only been a year and a half since we first met each other. I guess it's because we both talked a lot during our first year of being on the same soccer team.
Yuji, are you done yet?
Come on, don't rush me. Let me put on my sneakers.
Fine. I'll go on ahead and meet you by the field.
Alright. Sanaya left while I was sitting on the floor trying to tie my shoes. I didn't want to get my school shoes dirty, so I decided on my gym sneakers instead. It only took me about 2 minutes to get them on, but I guess 2 minutes was enough for Sanaya to arrive at the field. I then made my way to the field. As I approached the field, I saw Sanai gathering the equipment in one spot. I'm assuming it's for the convenience of getting things to the equipment shed a lot faster and in a timely manner. As I saw Sanai walking back from the equipment shed, I waved to her in indication that I was ready to help.
It's about time.
What do you mean it's about time? It's not like you were waiting an hour or something.
Yeah, I know. Come on, let's get started then.
This brings back memories. Back then, I used to help Sanai with cleaning up the field after practice. Sometimes the other members would help as well, but it was usually us two doing the work. Because of that, we grew closer and became good friends. Although after the incident later that year, she slowly grew more distant from me until one day, we just stopped talking altogether. I don't blame her one bit. I would have recommended it, in fact. But I'm kinda happy that she finally started to talk to me again. It feels like she's slowly bringing some order back into my life. After a while, we both decided to make one last round trip by grabbing as much stuff as we could carry. It wasn't too heavy, to be completely honest. We finally reached the storage shed. I carelessly threw the stuff at the corner of the storage shed, where all the other equipment was laying.
Hey, careful with that!
What? It's not like it's made from glass. It's fine, don't worry. Besides, I would always throw the equipment like this when I was still part of the team.
That explains why we had to keep buying new equipment. You're such an asshole.
Just a little. Man, those were the days.
Why don't you try rejoining the team?
Are you kidding me? There's no way they'll let me rejoin the team after such a bad rep.
What if I could persuade them to let you join again?
I don't know.
I'm not going to force you, but please think about it. I know that you loved being part of the team. I just want to see you happy again.
Okay then. I'll think about it.
Still, I can't believe how you would punch someone in the face. Why do you always act so carelessly, Yuji?
What do you mean?
For all the time we've known each other, you'd always carelessly act on your own without thinking about the consequences.
No way, I always think about the consequences.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
If that were true, you would have already known about the consequences of punching someone in the face.
Yeah, I was fully aware.
Yuji, you idiot.
Look, I just couldn't... What? Huh?
Oh no.
And just like that, we got trapped inside the equipment shed. I guess somebody thought that someone left the doors open and decided to close them. But at the very least, they could have checked to see if anyone was inside. Now we're stuck in here, for who knows how long. The only way I could figure out how to get out of here is by yelling and banging on the shed doors from the inside. It would be pretty convenient if I had my cell phone on me, but... I left it in my locker before coming here.
Hello? Someone, please open up!
Forget it, Sanai.
What do you mean?
Face it, we're stuck in here. What's so funny?
This situation is kind of ironic.
How so?
You don't remember? Jeez, you're so hopeless. Back before we got to know each other, I remember I opened this same equipment shed after hearing someone yelling for help from the inside. As I opened the door, I asked myself, who is dumb enough to get themselves stuck inside? It turned out to be you, Yuji. And now, we're both stuck inside that same equipment shed.
Really? I don't remember that.
Probably because of how embarrassing it was.
Whatever.
Hey, could you do something for me?
Yeah? What's up?
Could you close your eyes?
What for?
Just do it, okay?
Fine. At first, I didn't think much of the situation, but after a second of having my eyes shut, I felt something soft and warm touching my lips. I opened my eyes to find that it was Sanai kissing me directly on the lips. I just couldn't believe it. Why is Sanai doing this? I couldn't think straight. My mind was blank, and the only thing that was echoing through my head was thoughts of disbelief. Sanai, why did you... Shh. As I was about to ask her about what just happened, she gently pressed her index finger against my lips to keep me from talking any further. I complied and stayed silent.
Yuji, the thing is, I really like you. Remember that time when I almost got hit by a soccer ball? Yeah, that's when I fell for you. You protected me. And ever since that day, I just couldn't stop thinking about you, Yuji. You don't have to give me an answer immediately. Just don't take a year to respond, okay?
As I was about to respond to that witty remark, the locked shed door suddenly opened. Both me and Sanai both looked towards it with relief. For a second, I thought we were going to be stuck in here for the whole night. It turned out that one of Sanai's friends from class came looking for her and noticed the ruckus we were making inside the shed. She asked us how we ended up getting locked in, but the only response we could give her was that someone locked us in by accident. After explaining our situation, Sanai and her friend said farewell, and we went our separate ways. She grinned at me as she left without another word. On the other hand, I rushed quickly towards my locker to get my clothes to change. I realized that by the time I get home, it would already be dark out, so I tried to rush as fast as I could. After getting changed into my school uniform, I headed towards the gate to take my leave until suddenly, I saw Megami standing at the exit. Was she waiting for me? There's no way. Why would she wait on me like that? It makes no sense to me, but I guess the only way to answer my questions was to ask her directly. I slowly walked and approached Megami with some questions in mind. Megami, have you been waiting here for me?
Yes,
You could have just told me that you were going to wait for me, you know.
I guess.
Megami, what's wrong? Are you feeling okay?
Where were you?
Oh, about that, I was actually helping out Sanai with some stuff.
You seem happier than your usual self.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Sanai told me that I might be able to rejoin the soccer team.
Are you going to?
I was thinking about it on the way out, and I think I might actually take her up on the offer. This might be my only opportunity to remedy my bad reputation and get my school life back to normal.
No. You can't. You promised.
Sorry, did you say something, Megami?
You can't! If you do, they'll just betray you again! Can't you see it, Yuji? It's all an elaborate scheme set up by that slut, Sanae! That's right. It's all her fault. It's her fault that you're slipping away from me.
What are you talking about? Sanae would never do that. We've known each other since the day I first joined the soccer team.
If you leave, I'll be all alone.
Megami, why are you acting like I won't ever talk to you again? We're friends, remember?
Liar. Liar!
Megami. Then what will make you happy?
I want you to cut all ties with Sanae.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How could you say that? I can't do that. I can't just cut my ties with a friend. I thought you, out of all people, would be supportive of whatever decision I choose. Can't we all just be friends?
That's not possible.
But,
Shut up! This will protect you from...
from what? There's nothing to protect me from. Hell, I never even asked for protection.
It's for your own good.
For my own good? Are you kidding me? What would you know about my own good? You know what? Forget it. Sorry, Megami. But I think I need some space to think about this.
Yuji, please.
See ya. Without another word, I left Megami in a state of disbelief. I, on the other hand, was left with so many questions on my mind. Questions that could determine the outcome of my school life. I thought Megami, of all people, would have supported any decision I would have made. I guess that wasn't the case. Why is she so opposed to me being so close to Sanae? Friends should support each other, right? I just don't know what to do anymore. I should probably talk to Megami in person as soon as I can. If I tried texting her now, it would be kind of awkward. I just hope that she'll come around and understand the position I'm currently in. But that's all I could do. All I could do is hope.
How could this happen? My precious Yuji. My precious Yuji. My Yuji. Yuji. That bitch corrupted my Yuji. I've had it. No more. I was giving that slut a chance to back off. But now... It's time. It's time for her to pay.
Last time, on Yandere stories. I never really expected to run into my old soccer team manager, let alone being called out by her in public nonchalantly.
This year is kind of lonely without you on the team.
Well, things happened, so...
Yeah, I know.
I looked over at Megami. She didn't seem too thrilled right now. I wonder what's bugging her. Did something happen to her on the way to school?
Why don't you try rejoining the team?
Are you kidding me? There's no way they'll let me rejoin the team after such a bad rep.
What if I could persuade them to let you join again?
I don't know.
I'm not going to force you, but please think about it. I know that you loved being part of the team. I just want to see you happy again.
Okay then. I'll think about it.
Could you close your eyes?
What for?
Just do it, okay?
Fine. I opened my eyes to find that it was Sanai kissing me directly on the lips. I just couldn't believe it. Why is Sanai doing this? Sanai? Why did you... Shh. As I was about to ask her about what just happened, she gently pressed her index finger against my lips to keep me from talking any further. I complied and stayed silent.
Yuji, the thing is, I really, really like you.
How could this happen? My precious Yuji. My precious Yuji. My Yuji. Yuji. My...
It's been a week since the argument that made us so distant. The day after, I tried to muster up the courage to go talk to her, but for some reason, my feet just wouldn't move. It's as though shackles were holding me in place. Sanai noticed after 2 days that there was something weird going on between Megami and I. During lunch that same day, she asked what was going on. I, with a resentful tone in my voice, explained to her what happened in the argument we had. She felt guilty since the primary reason Megami and I stopped talking was because of her. I tried to avoid sounding like it was her fault, but that didn't go as planned.
So, it is my fault. I'm sorry. I was in the way, wasn't I?
It's not. Don't say that. I just don't know what's gotten into Megami. She suddenly freaked out over nothing, and I have no idea why. Every time I try to approach her, I just freeze. I just don't.
It's okay, Yuji. I take full responsibility. I shouldn't have butted into your life all of a sudden. All I did was cause problems for the both of you.
You're wrong. You have no idea how happy you made me. That time, when you started to talk to me again regardless of my reputation, it made me feel as though a piece of my life was being restored. You gave me the hope that everything could return to the way it was before the incident. So please, don't say that you shouldn't have butted in. 'Cause honestly, that was like me seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yuji, I had no idea.
Great. I'm getting all sappy and crap. Sorry.
Don't be.
My chest quenched as I spouted my true feelings. I tried to resist my tears from coming out. I didn't want to get too emotional over what might seem trivial to most people. Dealing with this kind of situation alone is tough enough. The only person I could turn to was Sanaya, since I couldn't muster up the courage to apologize to Megami. I just can't let this go on forever. Megami was one, if not the only person before Sanai, to accept me regardless of how I was being perceived by everyone else. I can't let our friendship end here. Not like this. I've made up my mind. No more games. Tomorrow, I'm going to confront her after school and fix this whole situation. The next day in the morning, Sanai and I made our way to our lockers. As I was thinking of how I should approach Megami after school, Sanai suddenly let out a scream. I quickly dropped what I was doing and rushed over to Sanai's locker. What's wrong? Are you alright?
It's a dead
Sanai! Sanai suddenly collapsed on both knees as she was trying to hold in her vomit. A crowd of students suddenly surrounded us, wondering what was going on. What the hell? Who would do this? I stood up with Sanai hanging onto me while she held her mouth with her other hand. I viciously glared at everyone around me. Who did this? Show yourself, coward! I tried to publicly shame the coward who would pull such a thing, but they never showed up. Seconds went by with Sanaya still holding on to me. I gave up and quickly rushed her to the school's infirmary. There, I slowly laid Sanaya on an empty bed. She looked sick and ready to vomit at any moment. Unfortunately, the nurse was nowhere to be found. She must still be in the teacher's lounge. Damn it. What the hell? At a time like this? Useless adults. Don't worry, Sanai. I'll go find some help. Make sure to take it easy, okay? I rushed out of the infirmary, leaving Sanai behind. I figured since all the teachers were in the teacher's lounge, I would head there first.
Wait,
I rushed as fast as I could to the teacher's lounge. The lounge was on the other side of the building, so it would take me at least 5 minutes to reach it. But since everyone was heading to class at this time, I had a hard time trying to reach the teacher's lounge in a timely manner. As I made my way through the crowded halls of the school, I heard two girls loudly laughing in the corner of the stairway.
Did you see what happened this morning?
Oh, the rat thing? Yeah, it was freaking hilarious.
The look at her face was priceless.
What the? Did I hear that right? I wasn't sure if they were spectators, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were the culprits who pulled this on Sanai. I couldn't just ignore the possibility that I could be right. I mean, they're the same people who bullied Megami. Who wouldn't speculate that it was them? I could always tell the teachers, but they would just ignore me. My only option here is confronting them again. At the very least, I could get some answers as to who the culprit was. Sorry, Sanai. Looks like I'll be taking a little bit longer than I initially thought. I traced back my steps and slowly approached them. The mood turned serious as they glared at me. The glares they gave off didn't bother me one bit, since I'm immune to them at this point.
What the hell do you want?
No bullshit, got it. Now, why did you do this to Sanai?
Huh? And who the hell do you think you are, acting as though you can just interrogate us like this?
Maybe if he gets on his knees and begs us like a puppy, we might talk.
Yeah, come on, little puppy, beg!
You two are full of jokes today, huh? Well, I'm not joking around this time. Answer my question before I bust your face open.
Maybe you should tell him.
Fine. We didn't do shit, okay? Believe it or not, it never even crossed our minds to start messing with Little Miss Happy Whore.
Alright, let's say you are telling the truth. Then who the hell did it? I'm all ears. If I find out that you lied to me, things are gonna get messy.
Alright, I get it! Jesus Christ, back off! Pretty sure it was the little mouse, Megami.
Megami? Based on what?
We were about to head out until we saw the little mouse hovering in front of some random locker. I had no idea if it was Sanai's, but she looked pretty suspicious.
Then what?
That's it, okay? We don't really have the time to mess with someone beneath us.
Can we go now? We told you everything we know.
I'm not sure if I should take their word for it, or take it as a big fat lie. But something tells me they're not lying. Even though they bullied Megami in the past, I can't see them going after Sanai for no good reason. Sanai isn't the kind of person who would just let other people push her around. If this is really all they know, then I have no use for them. Fine. I'm done here. I turned around and started making my way towards the teacher's lounge.
Hey, just so you know, the little mouse gives me the creeps.
I wouldn't trust her if I was you.
I stopped in silence for a second, then resumed my steady pace. I've been hanging out with Megami for a while now, and nothing seemed off to me. For them to say something like that was out of nowhere. Pretty sure they're just saying that to make me turn against her or something. Well, that's not gonna work if that's the case. On the way to the teacher's lounge, I started to hear mentions of the incident that happened this morning. Not to my surprise, the incident itself spread like wildfire. I didn't really bother with it since it wasn't anything that would tarnish Sana's name. I eventually reached the teacher's lounge and informed them of what happened. To my surprise, the homeroom teacher quickly responded and rushed towards the nurse's room. I was told to head back to class before the bell rang. For a moment, the fact that I was a delinquent quickly vanished from the teachers' minds due to their current focus being on Sanai. It was a pleasant feeling as though things were going back to the way they were. But that feeling vanished after realizing that my reputation wasn't my top priority right now. I wasn't sure what to do at this point since the teachers assured me that Sanai would be taken care of. I was still anxious regardless. I listened to what they instructed me and went back to class. Moments went by and I couldn't focus on the lecture. My thoughts were focused on who the culprit was and how I should apologize to Megami. Since lunchtime was coming in closer by the minute, I should probably change my focus to Megami. Minutes before the bell rang, I texted Megami informing her of what happened to Sanai. But I'm sure at this point everyone knew. I asked her to meet me by the track and field storage shed. I needed to confront her directly since it's easier to convey my feelings on this whole situation. She responded and agreed to meet. I was relieved and nervous at the same time. The next thing I knew, the bell rang for lunch. I was mentally preparing myself as I made my way to meet up with Megami. I didn't bother with getting lunch since this was more important than eating. On my way to the storage shed, Sanai came out of nowhere to greet me with a smile.
Hey, Yuji, where are you heading?
Sanai? What are you still doing in school? I figured they would send you home.
Yeah, they wanted to, but it's not like I couldn't recover from throwing up a little.
But your health is more important, you know.
Oh, come on. Do you really think I'm that weak?
I guess not. Sorry for doubting you.
You better be. Anyways, where's your lunch? Did you plan to skip today?
That's not it. I have to talk to Megami and settle things.
Oh, so you're doing that. I understand. Well, good luck, Yuji.
Thanks. I promise to make it up to you tomorrow. Lunch will be on me, okay?
Well, it's not like I could refuse. Deal.
Alright. Talk to you later then. Commercial break. Do. Takumi Hachi is a simple dude who just wants to be the best basketball. Argument we had, and how we haven't been talking to each other lately. I expect things to be a little awkward between us. The next thing I knew, I could see Megami standing by the shed from across the field. My thoughts began to scramble as I drew closer and closer to her. I tried to calm my nerves by taking deep breaths, as I recited the words I wanted to tell Megami all at the same time. Suddenly, I hear a quivering voice calling out to me.
Yuji.
Sanai, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you.
Is your reputation that important to you, Yuji? Is that what you value more? Do you value that more than us?
No, I don't. Our friendship is more important than that.
Then why do you want things to go back to the way they were? Can't you just be satisfied with what you have right now? Am I not good enough for you? If you really cared about us, you would have broken your ties with Sanae when I told you so.
It's not that I don't care about us. I just don't want to feel as though I'm trapped within a birdcage. I want to be able to fly with the others and see new skies with my own eyes. Being stuck in this situation, I just don't know how much longer I can take.
Oh, that's how it is. You just want to leave me here to rot.
What? Of course not. On the contrary, I want you to join me.
No! That's not how things work! You don't get it, do you? People are rotten. They only want what you can give. And once you've given them that, they'll turn their back on you.
Not everyone is like that, Megami. Sanai's not that kind of person. If you give her a chance...
Never! I will never let that whore get close to me. Why can't you see that she's tricking you? You're just some prize to her. And once she's done with you, she'll just throw you to the curb like a worthless piece of trash. Only we understand each other, Yuji. It should only be you and me.
That's not healthy, Megami. If you constantly keep isolating yourself, you'll quickly find yourself alone.
So what? That's nothing new to me.
Even so, if you keep yourself shut, you'll never know what it means to be truly happy. Look, I know what it feels to be alone and betrayed by the people you thought were your friends. It sucks, but that doesn't mean you should keep others who want to be your friends away. If you never give them a chance, you'll never be free from this isolation. I want you to be happy, Megami. And I really believe that making new friends will make you happier.
No. You're wrong. It's all her fault. She's putting these ridiculous ideas into your head, isn't she? She should just die.
Megami, what the hell? You should never wish death on anyone, even if you hate them.
She's better off dead.
I'm afraid if I don't avert her attention to something else, she might actually harm Sanai. Wait. It can't be. Could she have really been the culprit? I mean, I know she doesn't like Sanai, but could she really have been the one to do that? The way she's acting, her hate towards Sanai. I just can't help but think Megami planted that dead rat in Sanai's locker this morning. Did you do it? Are you the culprit to the incident that happened this morning?
Oh, you mean that rat incident? That was hilarious! Oh man, I wish I could have seen the look on her face!
We're done here.
Don't go! Please!
Damn it, Megami. Just why? What happened to you? What happened to the Megami that would greet me with a smile every morning? The Megami that would always give me moral support when I'm feeling down? Why? I just can't take this anymore. I made my way back to class. For the rest of the day, my head was filled with so much noise. Noise made from the words that Megami and I traded. All of it scrambling and deconstructing as my attention slowly drifted away from the lectures. Suddenly, the ring from the bell snapped me back into reality. It was the end of the day. Realizing that I have work today, I tried to suppress the noise. I eventually got to my locker and found a letter addressed to me. It was very weird considering that this kind of thing was pretty much uncommon. I looked at the front of the letter, and to my surprise, it was from Sanai. I mean, she has my phone number. Why would she send me a letter? Unless... could this be about that? I'm not sure if I'm ready to even give her my response yet. But at the very least, I should personally tell her to wait a little longer and explain myself. I'd feel bad if I just texted her my response after she went out of her way to do this. I opened up the letter she sent me, and it read, Yuji, meet me by the storage shed after school tomorrow. I have something important I want to tell you. Please. Well, she did say please, so I guess I have no choice.
did I put it? Ah, here it is. Oh, Yuji. It's only about time. We'll be together soon, I promise. Just wait for me.
I just don't know what's gotten into Megami. She suddenly freaked out over nothing, and I have no idea why. Every time I try to approach her, I just freeze. I quickly dropped what I was doing and rushed over to Sanaya's locker. What's wrong? Are you alright?
It's a dead rat!
Sanaya! Sanaya suddenly collapsed on both knees as she was trying to hold in her vomit. A crowd of students suddenly surrounded us, wondering what was going on. Did I hear that right? I wasn't sure if they were spectators, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were the culprits who pulled this on Sanaya. I couldn't just ignore the possibility that I could be right. I mean, they're the same people who bullied Megami. Who wouldn't speculate that it was them?
Hey, just so you know, the little mouse gives me the creeps. I wouldn't trust her if I was you.
I stopped in silence for a second, then resumed my steady pace. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you.
Is your reputation that important to you, Yuji? Is that what you value more? Do you value that more than us?
No, I don't. Our friendship is more important than that.
Then why do you want things to go back to the way they were? Can't you just be satisfied with what you have right now? Am I not good enough for you? If you really cared about us, you would have broken your ties with Sanae when I told you so.
I looked at the front of the letter, and to my surprise, it was from Sanae. I mean, she has my phone number. Why would she send me a letter? Unless... Could this be about that? I'm not sure if I'm ready to even give her my response yet. The next day arrived. It kinda caught me off by surprise, to be honest, even though I knew it was inevitable. Considering the events that unfolded these past several weeks, anything can happen. I don't like surprises, nor do I like it when the surprises come with conflict. But these kinds of things are kind of out of my control, I guess. All I can do is react as they come. I arrived at school and started my daily routine as I usually do. Except this time, Sanae, nor Megami, was nowhere to be seen. Either they arrived early, or they're avoiding being seen by me. It kinda makes sense if you think about it. Megami is more than likely too upset to even look at my face, and Sanae, well, she could be avoiding confrontation after placing that letter in my locker yesterday. I guess my morning is going to be pretty lonely today. I went off to class as usual. I was hoping that I would at least be able to see Sanae. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case throughout the whole day. It was a pretty weird feeling, if you ask me, but it's not like I have time to track her down during lunch. I guess I'll just see her after school then. The day went by really fast, since it wasn't as productive as I hoped it'd be. Next thing I knew, it was lunchtime. I instinctively went to the rooftop thanks to my previous routine, except this time, I had nothing to eat. I used to depend on Megami to make me lunch, but that's not a thing anymore. I went back down towards the cafeteria to grab a juice box and lemon bread from the vending machine. I didn't have much on me, since I had to budget for this month's expenses. I decided it was too much of a hassle to go back up, so I just ate my lunch on a bench in front of the school building. I could feel the eyes of my peers gleaming at me since it was pretty uncommon for me to be around this area. All I could really do is ignore them while I eat. I mean, I could have glared at them, but what good would that do? After I finished my lunch, I decided to take a little nap on the bench. I laid down and stared into the bright blue sky. The sound of nature soothed me, and I slowly started to get a little sleepy. What? Huh? Shit. I'm late for class. Looks like I overslept and fell asleep. I don't know what came over me. Usually, I don't really mind being late for class since the teachers already had a low expectation of me. I guess having friends kind of changed my perspective of how I looked at school. I ran as quickly as possible. I tried catching my breath the moment I arrived in front of the closed classroom door. I cracked the door slowly and gently stepped into the classroom in hopes that the teacher wouldn't notice. Surprisingly, he did notice, but lacked the desire to call me out. He just went on with the lecture like he normally does and ignored my presence. I don't really mind being ignored, but for some reason, this time, it actually felt as though my existence was nothing worth recognizing. I felt a bit of sadness coming over me, but it quickly faded away once I started taking notes during the lecture. A year ago, I left time to face Sanae about my response. I packed everything I needed to study tonight and left the classroom at a steady pace. I had a lot of things going through my head, mostly things regarding how I would approach Sanae. Because of this, everything around me became nothing but empty, ambient noise. I suddenly snapped out of it and realized that I was standing in front of my locker. I was confused by my own actions. I didn't have plans to leave school yet, but I guess I unconsciously did this out of my own routine. Since I was already at my locker, I switched my shoes out so I could head out once I was done talking to Sanae. After everything was in order, I started walking towards the school storage shed, where they kept miscellaneous equipment for gym activities. I was slowly closing the gap between me and my destination. My hands started to get sweaty and fidgety. Who knew confronting a girl that likes you would be so difficult? I thought I knew everything I was going to tell her, but the closer I get, the more blank my head becomes. By the time I arrived, I was more concerned with how nervous I was. Alright, looks like I'm a bit early. I hope she will understand. After 20 minutes, the leader of the soccer team and 2 of his teammates drew near me. I wonder what business they have being here. Then again, this is a school storage shed, so I wouldn't be surprised if they came here to get something. But it didn't look like their priority was the shed, but in fact, me. Are they planning on recruiting me for the soccer team? I mean, Sanae did say she wanted to give me another chance. Maybe she told them about my situation, and they decided to go looking for me. But honestly, who knows? I mean, I guess I might as well ask them. Hey guys, do you need some...
Who the hell do you think you are?
Wait, what? What the hell was that for? Why did he punch me? As I was laying on the ground holding my face, I looked over at the leader of the soccer team, Tatsumi. You son of a... The 2 other soccer members started kicking me while I was laying on my side. It was difficult trying to defend myself, especially my torso. Blow after blow, my body felt weaker. I'm not sure how long I could keep myself conscious. The blows were too much. I tried to think of a way out, but I realized that I wouldn't stand a chance. Just because I was able to get in a punch to some scumbag's face doesn't certify me as a pro fighter. All I could do was wait in agony until the blow stopped.
Enough!
What the hell?
I didn't say you could talk, punk. What the fuck did you do to Sane? Did you blackmail her? Are you threatening her? Well, which is it? I can't think of a reason why she would be all over you. I mean, what in the actual hell? She suddenly out of nowhere asked one of my buddies to lock you both in a storage shed for no reason. What's that about?
She... What?
Then she asked us to put some stinking rat in her locker for some reason. What is she thinking?
That can't. But why? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Did Sanaya set all this up? Did she frame Megami for the incident that happened recently? Was Megami right about Sanaya? What the fuck is going on? Why did she do this? Why is she trying to sabotage my friendship with Megami? What has she gained by doing that? Just... why?
I'm warning you. Don't you ever speak to Sane again! I don't know what the hell you're up to, but if you try anything funny, I know where to find you. Come on, guys, seeing him squabble like a worm makes me sick.
That was the end of that. I was left to rot in pain. I could barely move, but I was still conscious. Conscious enough to know what he said. Conscious enough to feel the pain and bruises of being beat up to a pulp. It's funny how the world works. I only punched someone once for defending my mom, and I'm automatically the villain in the eyes of the public. On the other hand, if someone like the soccer team leader comes to beat me up, he's treated as this righteous hero of justice. Kind of like that one young detective that I saw on TV last night. What was his name again? I think it was Akechi or something like that. Talk about injustice. Even if I go straight to a teacher and tell them of what happened, they just ignore me or think I was lying. No one would even believe me. The innocent don't have rights to speak. This is why our society is a shithole. Damn it. I need to stop blaming this on society and pick myself up. I can't keep laying on the ground forever. Come on, Yuji. Pull yourself together. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to pull together the strength to get up and slowly walk back home. Even though my body was yelling and screaming, I couldn't give up. I eventually arrived and slept the day away until the next morning. Damn. Everything still hurts. I got up, took a quick shower, and got ready for school. Except this time, the pain from the previous day still lingered with me, making everything 100 times more difficult to do. But there was nothing I could do but endure the pain for the whole day. So I did just that. Upon arriving at school, I pretty much just headed straight to my locker. To my surprise, I see Sanai waiting right beside it. What was she planning? She looks happy to see me. Did Tatsumi not tell her about what happened yesterday? I guess not. Makes sense considering they aren't exactly best friends or anything. I just can't even give her a straight face right now. Not after what Tatsumi said.
Good morning, Yuji. Yuji! What happened to your face? It's swollen. Are you okay? We should get you to the nurse to have you checked out right...
Don't touch me.
Yuji? What's wrong?
Don't lie to me. I know what you did. Because of you, I lost the only person who actually cared about me.
What are you talking about? What did I...
Shut up. Just leave me alone.
Yuji. Damn it. He knows. Who the hell told him about my plan? The only people who knew were... So, that's who. Those bastards ratted me out. They'll pay. How am I supposed to make Yuji mine if Megami is in the way? Yuji. Oh, my beloved Yuji. Why must you be so hard to obtain? It only makes you that much more desirable. You'll soon become my prize. I'll make sure that bitch doesn't ever get in my way again.
Previously on Yandere Stories. Megami is more than likely too upset to even look at my face, and it was time to face Sanai about my response. Well, hey guys, she could be avoiding do you need confrontation after placing
Who the hell do you think you are? I mean, what in the actual hell?
What?
She suddenly out of nowhere asked one of my buddies to lock you both in a storage shed for no reason.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Did Sanai set all this up?
What happened to your face?
Did she frame Megami for the incident that happened recently? Just leave me alone. Was Megami right about Sanai? What the fuck is going on?
He knows.
Sanai. A friend? An enemy? Someone who holds a grudge because of something I did. What does she want from me? After becoming friends with me and pursuing a relationship with a low-class delinquent like myself, what motives does she have to sabotage my friendship with Megami? What does she gain by doing that? Is it popularity? No, that can't be it. If she wanted to become popular, she would not cause such problems. She would have no problems with me being friends with Megami. I wonder though, rather than having a grudge against me, she might have one against Megami. Could it be that she is trying to ruin Megami's reputation by accusing her of that rat incident? But that wouldn't make sense. It's not like Sanai ever talked nor ever spoke to Megami before meeting me on that day we encountered each other on the street. If that's the case, could it be jealousy? Jealous of what? Her money? But Sanai doesn't seem to be the kind of person who would be driven to do this shit because of someone else's social status. God. Why does she have to lie to me? Sanai. Why did you lie? I couldn't even look at her in the eyes anymore. The only thing I could do was tell her that I knew what she had planned and moved on to my homeroom class where I was clearly never welcomed. As per usual, no one batted an eye. They went along with their everyday normal lives while I was suffering from the lies and deception from the inside. I rarely cried when it came to stuff like this, but this was one of those moments where I felt a swarm of emotions piling up. It was hard to hold these emotions and considering the situation, but I had to, if I wanted to live up to my delinquency persona everyone knew me for. But I could honestly care less of how everyone perceived me. The only important thing right now, at this moment, is how I'm going to apologize to Megami for doubting her judgment of Sanai. She was right. I shouldn't have trusted Sanai, even though I knew her before meeting Megami. Sanai deceived me into thinking Megami was in the wrong. That is something I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive her for, whatever the reason she might have. With that being said, I decided to text Megami the first chance I had in between classes. I sent her a message saying, "Megami, I'm sorry for doubting you. You were right all along. I shouldn't have trusted her. There's nothing I could do to right my wrong, but please, let me personally apologize for what I did and explain everything to you in person. There's so much I want to tell you. So please, hear me out. During lunch, I'll be waiting for you on the roof." I had the sinking feeling that she wouldn't respond to my message, but a few seconds later, I got a response from Megami saying only one word. "Okay," the message said. Just the word itself was enough to put my mind at ease for the remainder of the time I had until lunch. It was a bittersweet feeling, as though you knew you had a chance to set things right while the feeling of total disaster was looming around the corner. It wasn't a solid no, so that's good at least. Knowing that, I was pretty optimistic for the remainder of the time. I was able to improve my focus on school. Next thing I knew, the lunch bell rang, and it was time to face Megami. I slowly walked at a steady pace. I wanted to give my head some room to breathe before I faced Megami straight on. I rehearsed what I was going to say, but the odds of those rehearsed words actually being put into practice is slim at best. I finally reached the entrance to the rooftop of the school. I took a deep breath and slowly forced my body through the door.
Yuji?
Megami. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I shouldn't have doubted you. You were the closest friend I had, and I betrayed you for someone who didn't think twice about lying to my face. I ruined our friendship. I should have listened to your warnings. I should have. As I was looking at the ground with shame written all over my face, I suddenly felt warm, soft hands lifting my head up. It was Megami's hands. I was shocked and bewildered by her gestures. I've never seen Megami be this bold before. Did I look that pathetic that she felt the responsibility to lift my head up high? I wasn't sure.
It's okay, Yuji. As long as you know, that's all that matters. You see, everything I do, everything I ever did was to protect you from others. To you, it might seem unjustified, but you have to realize that I did it for us. Do you get it now?
Yeah. I guess it makes sense. I mean, you never lied to me once. I have no reason to doubt you. Thank you, Megami.
No, thank you, Yuji. Thank you for existing. Thank you for being with me. You are all I will ever need. Yuji, please be mine. Forever.
Suddenly, I felt the soft warm lips of Megami making contact with mine. I was unable to think. My mind that was filled with sorrow and regret was now wiped clean as though nothing else mattered but the kiss with Megami. I couldn't think of anything else to say at the moment. I looked at Megami directly in the eyes, and then gazed away. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
I quickly composed myself and rushed towards the door. After passing the door, I slowed down my pace and made my way towards the bathroom. I could feel my heart throbbing really fast. I couldn't tell if it was because of the kiss or if I exerted myself too much while rushing to the door. Either way, my face ended up really red. I could still feel Megumi's soft lips still radiating from mine. Then suddenly a familiar voice echoed from behind, calling out my name.
Yuji! Wait up!
I hesitated to look considering there's a big chance that it was Sanai calling me. But I couldn't just ignore it. My curiosity won, and I turned around to be met by the one person I didn't want to see. What do you want? I'm busy. Leave me alone.
Why did you ignore me this morning? What happened? I'm really worried about you, Yuji.
Don't pretend like you care. I know what you did. And stop acting like you don't know what's going on.
What? What do you mean? What did I do?
Do I really need to spell it out for you? Why the hell did you lie to me? Why would you frame Megumi for doing something she didn't do? What's wrong with you? Do you just love seeing me suffer?
No, of course not.
Do you just love picking on someone who clearly didn't do anything just to get a good laugh?
Yuji, please let me.
You had it with the lies. I don't ever want to see your face again. Especially around Megumi. Just leave us alone.
But Yuji!
Goodbye. As I turned around, I felt Sanai's hand grappling my wrist to tug me back into a position where I was facing her again. Before I could pull my hand back, I felt my left cheek aching in pain. Sanai slapped me. She was at the brink of crying.
Would you please listen to what I have to say? Please.
All of the students started to glare at us. You could hear them gossiping about what just happened. I, on the other hand, was in shock. I wasn't sure what to say or how I should react. I just looked at Sanai in the eyes with disbelief. You could clearly see she was trying to hold back her tears.
Come on, let's go somewhere we can talk in private.
I hesitated in answering, but for someone who would love to see others suffer, she didn't seem too happy. Maybe there's a valid reason why she's doing this. I had to know. Fine. Sanai grabbed me by the wrist and dragged me along. I wasn't sure where she was taking me, but I complied nonetheless. We then saw ourselves in the same spot where she first confessed her feelings to me. The same spot where she had kissed me farewell. How ironic.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen.
You're sorry? Sorry for what? Being caught?
I love you, Yuji. I can't help myself.
Love me? Is this how you show your affection? By sabotaging my closest friend and ruining her reputation?
Please, I have a reason. Just, please, hear me out.
Fine. I'm listening.
The soccer team tryouts. That's where it all started.
Wait. What?
For the longest time, I've always wanted to be seen as a feminine girl. I was always treated as a tomboy because of how I acted on the outside. But on the inside, I wanted to look pretty. I wanted to look cute, but I just couldn't. Every time I tried, I was always shot down by others and was always told that stuff like that doesn't suit me. It made me insecure about myself. It made me think that I won't ever find someone who would see me in that light. But then, a year and a half ago during the soccer team tryouts, you proved me wrong. You saved me from getting hit by a soccer ball. You made me feel as though I was someone fragile that needed to be protected. It made me feel special. It made me feel as though you knew that I wasn't this tough tomboy girl who didn't need to be protected. You showed concern for my well-being and made sure I was okay when no one else did. It was at that moment when I fell in love with you.
But why do everything to ruin Megumi?
I was scared.
Scared of what?
I was scared that I would lose you forever. I was scared that I would lose the one person who saw me for who I really was. I wanted to be there for you when you were at your worst, but I was pressured to stay away. I shouldn't have let that stop me. I hate myself for not being able to be there when you needed someone the most. Even till this day, I hate myself for not being able to be by your side. And as a result, someone else took the place where I should have been.
But why would you send the soccer team captain to beat me up? Why would you set me up like that?
What do you mean? Beat you up? What happened?
Do you really not know? I guess they did that on their own accord.
Yuji, please! Tell me what happened!
Fine. A couple of days ago, there was a letter placed within my locker that was addressed to me. I wasn't sure who wrote it, but when I opened the letter, it was apparently written by you. It said to meet you by the equipment shed. The same shed where you first kissed me. I had no doubts that this would be you considering what happened between us. But I was wrong. It turns out, the captain of the soccer team wrote that letter. He didn't come alone either. All of his buddies tagged along. Suddenly, one of his buddies actually started beating me up for what felt like no apparent reason. The captain looked really pissed. I asked him why he was doing this. Apparently, he was mad because you told them to do stuff for you. Stuff like locking us in that storage shed and planting a dead rat within your own locker. I assumed he really liked you based on how mad he was. And I guess he wanted revenge on me. But if it wasn't for him, I would probably still be gullible and in the dark about everything.
Yuji, I had no idea.
Well, now you do. Do what you will with me, but don't get Megami involved. She didn't do anything to you, nor would she ever.
I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just love you so much. Please, Yuji!
I don't know if I could forgive you after what you did. You have no idea how much you made me and Megami suffer.
I'm so sorry.
Don't give me that crap.
I'll do whatever it takes to make things right. So please, tell me what I can do to make everything better again. Please, I'm begging.
If you really are sorry, then apologize to Megami as soon as you can. That's the least you could do after what you've done. Then maybe, just maybe, I'll consider your apology.
Yeah, you're right. I'll make sure she knows how sorry I am. I'll talk to her tomorrow and get things straightened out. I promise.
Alright, well, I have nothing else to say to you unless you have something to tell me.
All I want you to know is that I'm sorry, and I never intended for you to get hurt. I really do love you, Yuji, and even though we might not be able to stitch our relationship back after this, I appreciate everything you've done for me. Honestly.
Come on. Don't be saying shit like that to me now.
I just hope we can at least talk as friends.
Well, we'll see. Alright. Well, I guess we're done here. Goodbye, Sanae.
Oh, okay. Bye.
I'm speechless. Her apology felt sincere. Although, I don't know if I should believe her. Could she really have a change of heart? Man, I really wish I was a phantom thief right about now. It sure would make things so much easier. But reality isn't as simple as that. Reality is dark. And in order to survive within this darkness, I have to make sure my flame isn't extinguished, as cheesy as that might sound. Jeez, I'm so lame. I guess all I can do now is wait for her to apologize to Megami and hope for the best. I am not sure if I want to forgive her for what she did, but she really did seem sorry. I don't know. Oh, damn. I think I took too long. Now Megumi is gonna be pissed at me for not coming back. Then again, how could I make eye contact with her after what she did? This is gonna be so awkward. I went back to class since I didn't have time to go back up and meet up with Megumi. I figured I should just text her what happened so she doesn't feel worried about me. She might not like it, but I can't lie to her about what just happened. In fact, I don't think I've ever told her what happened. Between that time, when me and Tanai were stuck within that school's equipment shed. This could make her really upset, but I can't lie to her. During class, I quickly reached for my phone and texted Megumi. I explained that I was caught by Sanai because she wanted to tell me something. She responded with only 3 dots. I knew she would get upset the moment I mentioned her name. I gave an abridged explanation of what happened and what we talked about. I wasn't sure how she was taking it, considering that Sanai is a person she hated with a passion. I told her that I'd make it up to her by taking her out after school. She responds with an okay and a smile emoji. I think she might be okay now. She doesn't seem too upset anymore. Crap. Did I just ask her out on a date? I completely forgot that we just kissed today. Great. Now this is going to be even more awkward than I initially thought. And so, up until the last bell of the day, all I could think about was this unofficial date with Megumi after school. Here goes. I got up from my desk and grabbed my stuff. I slowly paced myself while heading to my locker. My heart started beating a bit faster the closer I got to the school front gate. After I reached my locker, I switched out my school shoes with my sneakers and headed towards the front gate. Standing right beside the gate was Megumi. She was staring at the ground and looked fidgety. I didn't want to startle her, so I slowly went up to her and tapped her shoulder. Hey, you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay.
She was obviously nervous about what was going to happen. But she wasn't the only one. I just put on a poker face and made it look like it was completely normal. That's good. Well, shall we go then?
Yuji,
Yeah?
could we take my car? I feel kinda tired.
Huh? Oh, sure.
Thanks.
She looked at me with relief and happiness. I think she was probably tired of all the drama that went on today. Seeing her like this made me relax a bit, regardless of the fact that we kissed. I was just glad that she was okay. We both started walking out of the school and through the gate, where we were met by Megumi's chauffeur. The fact that she has one still ceases to amaze me. We went inside the car and she was greeted by her chauffeur. He gave us some canned green tea that you would find at any old vending machine. I opened it up and gulped it down like a mad lad. Megumi, on the other hand, was sipping it down little by little, and it was honestly pretty cute. Hey, Megumi. You're really... what's... what's happening?
Yuji?
Are you okay?
Huh? What's going on? Why isn't he picking up? I guess it makes sense after what I did. But even so, how am I supposed to apologize to Megumi when she's not at school? Come on, Yuji, pick up!
Dude, why do I keep forgetting to unmute the mic, bruh? But yeah, what I said, I was totally poggers. Yeah, that was episode 7, which is last to the last part, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm gonna be showing episode 8, which is the final part to episode 11. My glasses are crooked, but yeah, thanks for stopping by and watching, guys. So Q&A questions. Does anybody have any questions for the director of this fantastic Yandere story? Yeah, I don't know why, but like I think the delay between me and chat is like probably like 4 seconds. So I'm probably gonna read it kind of late. You're probably gonna hear it late, but yeah. All right, Kingslayer, you said, did Megami do something so Yuji can spend time with her? Second, did Sanaya only... Okay, the first one. Did Megami do anything so Yuji can spend time with her? That's... you know what? I'm glad you caught that, because that's actually something that's going to be in episode... or part 8 of episode 11. So stay tuned for tomorrow, because it's going to be answered then. Second, did Sanaya only talk with Yuji because of Megami? You know what? I did not answer that question, or did not answer that question within the next part. So I can tell you right now that no, it's not because of Sanai didn't talk to Megami because of Yuji, because coincidentally, well, technically it's a yes and no question, or a yes and no answer, because since Sanai saw Yuji and Megami walking together, she thought of it like, oh, okay, it's okay for me to go talk to Yuji now because Megami's talking to him. And so because she gave off the, oh, it's okay to talk to him now because, you know, he actually has a friend now, then I won't be as like bashed by the public as much, because then Megami would be bashed, and if, you know, that kind of stuff. So yes and no. She saw him with somebody else, and because of that, it made her affirm that it's okay to talk to Yuji, regardless of what happened and everybody giving him the cold shoulder. Third, did Megami plan to do something to Yuji before Sanai appeared? No. It does not. Unfortunately, I did not answer this within the next part, the new part. Megami wasn't planning on doing anything. It was more like a slow. It was going to develop slowly, just like any other normal relationship you would see. Of course, she can be a little extreme, as you could probably tell from the beginning, when they first met. So I'm sure she was going to be super clingy with Yuji and stuff. So things like that was bound to happen. But if Sanai wasn't in the picture and it was just Yuji and Megami, the relationship would probably have been relatively normal. So, what was your favorite Golden Genesis? What was your favorite episode so far to make? That's a good question. My favorite episode to make, I think it has to be this episode, because I took so long and it took me forever to actually write the story. I never thought that this story was going to be this long. Like, I thought it was going to be like at least 4 to 5 parts maybe, but I did not anticipate it would be this long. For a second, I was kind of worried that it would be like 11 or 12 parts long, and that would have made it like almost 4 to 5 hours long if you watch it all in one go. And I feel like if I took too long to create these videos and stuff, that people were gonna forget about it and get bored of it, because it takes me forever to write these stories, because I have to make sure that everything's consistent and there's no loopholes and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like developing a video game, where it's like you take 2 to 3 years to create this thing. But unlike Yandere Simulator, where he never is going to finish the game, oof. I actually wanted to finish this as soon as I could. I didn't want to rush it, but at the same time, I didn't want to take forever to develop the characters and stuff, because then it would have dragged on for too long, and people were like, "When is the next episode going to come? I'm kind of tired of this episode," and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. King Slayer. Also, what year is the timeline? So the timeline, as you mentioned before in the chat, it's kind of like a Persona timeline. The Persona thing, the references, it might seem like it's within the same universe as Persona. Reality is that that's just kind of little reference. It's not really, it has nothing to do with the Persona series, or I'm not trying to integrate Yuji and Tsunai into the Persona world or anything like that. It's more just like a little Easter egg kind of thing, if you noticed it. But that's why Yuji, just so you guys, if you guys didn't catch onto, Yuji is kind of a playful name for Ryuji, the blonde kid from Persona 5, who's Joker's best friend within this Persona 5 game. Or the first person he meets, because he's a delinquent and that kind of stuff. So I was like, that'd be pretty funny if I made this character called Yuji a delinquent as well. So you can kind of see the similarities and kind of where I got that from. But it's within around the 2016 to 2019 timeline, like Slayer, like you mentioned. What made you make Drizk, Drizzk? Sorry if I butchered your name. What made you make stories about Yandere? So what made me make these stories about Yandere is that I watched Mirai Nikki. Like I think I've said this before in another video, but just to like summarize what I said, I started with Mirai Nikki. That kind of established the whole Yandere genre in general, because I didn't know what they were called. But before Mirai Nikki came into place, there was this other character called I forgot her name. She's from Shuffle. I'm sure a lot of you seen the little clip of her just staring into the camera while like cooking a pot of stew or something, but it was empty. I totally forgot. That show is from like 2006, so it's a really old show if you guys don't know about it. But that kind of inspired me to like create a Yandere stories, because it was like the premise of a Yandere is like very interesting, and there's so much stuff you can do with a character like that, because the psychological thriller aspect of it, as well as the their mental thinking and how they go about these things and why they think like this is very interesting. A lot of people like them because of the the love factor or whatever you want to call it. But personally, I like the Yandere characters because of the fact that you can do so much with them and story wise. So they make for interesting characters for sure. Hyperbomb, was there a detective in your past stories? What do you mean detective? I don't think there was any detective. Like in this story, I did reference Akechi, which he is a detective in the in Persona 5, although he wasn't a part of the story, or none of the stories that I mentioned previously, as far as I'm aware of, there wasn't any detectives. Xeno XENO Hunter 928. Will there be a break after the series? Yes and no. This is the main Yandere Stories series. I am gonna do a little spin-off kind of thing. It's called Yandere Diaries, which is more of a condensed stories. I know I initially started this Yandere Stories. And they usually took about like almost an hour, not an hour, but like they took almost like 2 to 3 parts. They slowly, gradually started to become bigger and bigger and bigger. Like right now, this stories is like 8 different videos, and you have to like watch all of them to get the whole story. Before getting into different parts, it was only one video that was 10 minutes long. I kind of want to go to the route where the videos are very condensed and they're like short stories rather than this long, very long story, because I feel like people don't really have the attention span to like to actually be invested in the story unless they really are hardcore into this kind of stories. Because a lot I've seen, I guess I shouldn't really cater to people like that, but I feel like it'd be better for me to grow my channel as well as and able to keep making these is to condense these stories into like 10 minute videos or something like that, as opposed to making them like different parts with each spanning around 10 to 20 minutes. So I'm not going to take a break from it. I'm going to keep doing these Yandere videos, but they're going to be more of a diary rather than a whole story. But don't get me wrong, I will still be making these Yandere stories, the long ones, that span with countless parts. So if that's what you're worried about, don't worry. I probably will be taking a break between episode 11 and 12. So, but that's pretty much it. QnA, KNELE. Sorry if I don't know how to say your name, but how did you get the idea for Yandere stories, Jay? I kind of got it from Mirai Nikki. Like I mentioned before, it's mostly based on around the time when Mirai Nikki first came out. I figured that, hey, this would be a really good story, and I was very curious of what kind of characters these things were called, or these characters were called, and they were called Yandere. So I looked it up, and I saw that people were posting stories about on forums and that kind of stuff about girls that acted like this way, and it was pretty fascinating. So because of that, I was like, this would make a really good story. So I did it before the whole Reddit creepypasta kind of thing. Well, I think I started doing it around the time of creepypasta. Well, I don't know, or when creepypasta was a big thing. RHYS Race PAS Pashley PASHLEY. Sorry if I can't really say your name. I'm really horrible with names, so I'm sorry about that. But who's your favorite character in the story? That's a pretty hard one. I would have to go with dude. Or if it's episode 11, that's pretty difficult. I like Megami's character because she's very complex and she has a lot going on for her, and she's mostly the main antagonist of the story. So obviously I'm the kind of person who likes good antagonists. Like for me, the main protagonist doesn't like when I watch anime and that kind of stuff. I don't really root for the main protagonist a lot of the times because they kind of get kind of boring sometimes. So I really focus a lot on the antagonists of the stories because they usually make up the story, and they're the reason why the story is so good and intense. So I would have to go with Megami in terms of my favorite character. Monkey Man, what will you do after the finale of Yandere Stories? Like I mentioned before, for the finale, after the finale, I'm just probably going to go back and work on my Yandere Diaries series, which is going to be new, a new thing, and it's going to be I already have like 2 stories in the process. So hopefully after not this week but the next week after this one, I will have the first episode of Yandere Diaries. And like I didn't think I described what it was, but Yandere Diaries is basically a 10-minute-ish video, mostly in the perspective of a first person. So first person perspective. There isn't going to be any female character or like female voice actors or anything like that because he's going to be narrating the whole thing. So it's from the perspective of the protagonist or the person. So the reason why I did this is because it's like a diary format. At the same time, I did it because I noticed that if I get voice actors together for these videos, it takes forever to create because I have to wait like weeks just to get their lines in and that kind of stuff. And sometimes they're pretty good. The voice actors I've hired so far, they're really good with timing and stuff, but I still have to give them like a week or 2 in advance in order to like, so they can get the lines in time and stuff. So I decided to go with just this format because it's easier for me to keep making more videos. So it's kind of like it's easier on me personally. And I could just come up with new, fresh ideas every single time I make a video like that. So it's good for me as a writer and director. Let's see, D-Rizk. Oof, I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. What made you make stories about Yandere? Like I said, Mirai Nikki. So that's probably one of the main reasons. Out of the two of them, who is more crazy? That's Kingslayer. That is a pretty hard question. I'd say have to be Tatsumi, or the soccer team not coach, but the soccer team guy who beat Yuji up in the previous episode, just because of the fact that he actually like beat him up and stuff like that. So I'd say he's the craziest one, even though you said out of the two, Sanai and Megami. But if, in all seriousness, I have to say that Megami is crazier because obviously she's the antagonist, so, and she's intentionally going to be crazy compared to Sanai. So I don't know. Golden Genesis, did you ever think this series would become as big as it did? Honestly, no, I did not. Like, when I first posted episode 1 of Yandere's stories, like, I didn't really expect it to blow up or anything. I was like a test experimental thing. I was like, yeah, this would be fun to do. So I posted it and stuff. That's why it's only like 5 minutes long. And I don't know, like, I didn't think my channel was gonna go that route, because initially when I started YouTube, I was just doing English covers of like anime openings and stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. And because this blew because of the Yandere simulator thing, and Markiplier and PewDiePie, they were playing Yandere Sim at the time, which was around 2016, same time when I blew up. Because of that, I never thought that the series would get as big as it is, which I'm so grateful for, because you guys make it possible, and I'm really happy that everybody likes what I'm doing, and it makes me happy, honestly. But yeah. Kingslayer, what would have happened if Megami didn't laugh when Yuji was saying things and she would have just said the truth? That's a tough one. I don't know, because like I can't really get into the mind of Megami as how she would react to that, or Yuji. I don't know how Yuji would say. Maybe Yuji wouldn't think of it too. Maybe Yuji wouldn't think Megami is kind of a bitch, in terms of like, oh, why are you laughing at Sanai, or yeah, why are you laughing about that happened to Sanai and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Maybe Yuji would like still blame Megami, but he wouldn't be as like mad at Megami as he would initially thought when she did laugh. Hyperbomb, was there a detective in the past stories? No, there was not. Drizk, I keep butchering people's names. Will Megami kidnap Yuji and put him in her basement? Oh, that's stay tuned for tomorrow. You'll find out. Kingslayer, how does Megami think exactly? Like, why does she think the thing she did, or why did she say the thing she said? I can't really tell you, but I can say that you will find out tomorrow. I'm doing that thing where the directors are like, you will find out on the next episode, so stay tuned. I noticed that, but I thought it was also because Yuji is like Yugi. Bro. Are the Yandere stories 6 and 7 connected like the same universe? I don't want to spoil anything, but that's a question I cannot answer at this moment. So you will have to stay tuned to see what happens. Hint, nudge, nudge. What was Sanai's original plan? To explain Sanai's plan, she basically wanted to frame Megami as being this girl that likes to torture other people. So she wanted to give her a bad image for Yuji, so Yuji would just drop her and become friends with Sanai, or get closer to Sanai, because Sanai loved Yuji that much. So that's pretty much the whole plan. She was going to do something about it regardless, because of how she felt for the longest time. But yeah. Kingslayer, what would have happened if Yuji never met Megami? if Yuji did not step in to help Megami in the bathroom when he did, I think he would just still be in the same situation where he would just I don't know, just be suffering until he graduated, I guess, or transferred schools if it got that bad. But who knows, honestly. I have to say though that more than likely he would have moved away to a different school if it got that bad, but I don't know. Like, who can tell? Maybe that's a different story I could explore later on. Monkey Man, did Yandere's from anime get you into making the famous Yandere stories? Yes it did, Monkey Man. Yes it did. Snowstar, do you have a Yandere girl who love you so much? No, I do not. As far as I'm aware of, I do not have a Yandere girl that loves me so much. So yeah, thank God. Whew, dodged the bullet. Kingslayer, what happened to Megami's parents, like, exactly? Okay, so to explain Megami's parents, basically, Megami, because her parents are, like, abroad, because I don't know if you heard, but her parents aren't exactly home all the time. It's like one of those parents that just leave their kid with their butler or maid or something. Obviously it's not relatable or anything, because nobody goes through that as far as I'm aware of, but they leave them to them, and they just abandon their child because they have business stuff to do across the world or something. I don't know. And so because of that, that kind of relationship with their parents, the kid does not grow into, I don't know, isn't stable. Their upbringings aren't as stable as when a normal parent and child would be. So her parents, Megami's parents, they're just abroad because they're doing business, because they don't really care about Megami that much. Bree2452, what made you stop making the protagonist antisocial in this story? Okay, so I didn't want to make Yuji so antisocial because of the fact that I was getting tired of the first couple of episodes. I was like, this character is sounding to be very similar to one another, and I didn't want them to be the same, because that makes for a really boring story. Like, if you keep making the same character arc and all that kind of stuff, so obviously why would you want to watch that, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna make Yuji completely different, because I'm not used to writing characters like Yuji. So I'm glad that he turned out to be decently good, at least in my opinion. I think I could have could have made him more complex as a character, but this is my first time writing such a delinquent character. So I hope I at least did a good job. So you guys tell me, because I can't really critique my own work. Kingslayer, has Megami ever lied to Yuji? Yes, you will find out on the next episode or the next part. Hyperbomb, are you going to have other YouTubers voice the Yandere? I actually do want to have other YouTubers. Like, I wanted to collaborate with other ASMR artist people on YouTube who do ASMR content. Like Fallen Shadow was one of in Ikumi ASMR. Those two, Ikumi I interviewed in my Unipop podcast. We can watch on my YouTube channel. But Fallen Shadow ASMR, if you guys haven't heard of her, I did collaborate with her on episode 9 of Yandere Stories. I did want to keep going with that, but the thing is that I kind of felt intimidating, because I feel like she was such a big YouTuber compared to me. So I was like, is she really willing to go this far in terms of collaboration with me? Because I feel like if I didn't pay her to do these voices and stuff, then I feel like she wouldn't do it. But I don't know. So I just stopped at one part for episode 9. But for anybody watching who's a YouTube ASMR artist person, or if you guys have any recommendations on who I should collaborate with, please, by all means, tell them, tweet at him saying, hey, you should collab with Jay, or hey, I want to hear you and Jay's Yandere stories or something, or something like that, or comment in their YouTube videos or something like that, because that'd be pretty cool if I can collaborate, because I really need I'm an antisocial person, so it's kind of hard to reach out to people to collaborate with. So if you guys can help me with that, that would be pretty fucking cool of you guys. But yeah. Kingslayer, why is Megami starting to get more paranoid as time went on? Because Sanai was getting too close to Yuji. So obviously, if a girl gets, if you have a crush and your crush gets too close to somebody else, you're gonna get paranoid. You're gonna get alerted. You're being in alert mode because they could take your potential person that you actually like. So that's why she was more paranoid. Golden Genesis, this isn't a question, and more just like something I want to say. I think these stories in the series you have created for us is fantastic work of art. Keep going, keep up the good work, and you're awesome storyteller. Thanks, Golden Genesis. I really do appreciate those comments, because it really motivates me to keep going and stuff. Dry ZZK. Oof. I still can't say your name. Will Megami kidnap Yuji and put her in her basement like Hachi? Stay tuned for next episode. Are you going, Hyperbomb, are you going to have Ikumi as the Yandere in your Yandere story? I thought about asking her to see if she's interested, so I might actually have her be a part in like a Yandere diary just to test out the waters and stuff. But I don't know. You never know. Knele, or Knele. I know this isn't much of a question, but I want you to chat with you on Discord. Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know, I do have a Discord, and it should be in the link in the description of this live stream right now. So if you guys want to join my Discord, by all means, please do. I'm always active on there. Well, sometimes I'm not, but it's because I'm busy with YouTube videos. But when I am, you feel free to @me or something. I'll be more than happy to chat with anybody. Monkey Man, what will episode 12 be about? That's I can say it's about a musician who has a crazy fan. That, or it's gonna be something else, because I'm kind of trying to brainstorm some ideas for episode 12. Kingslayer, what was Megami's goal after she met Yuji? Megami's goal was pretty much after she met him is to get to know him better. But like I said, you will have to wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow will explain why she's doing the things she did. So, and it's really good. It's a really good reason why she's doing. It's gonna be pretty good. I promise you that. Snowstar, do you have a Yandere girl? How will there be for you? No, I do not have a Yandere. Kingslayer, what has Megami gone through in the story, like her past? Stay tuned for the next part, dude. Like, a lot of these questions, I will be answering in the next episodes, or not next, but the next episode, the finale, the grand finale. So you will see. Japanese Viper, burgers or pizza? Oof, that's hard. I will have to go with burgers, because burgers are good, and you can add bacon to burgers. I know you can add bacon to pizza as well, but bacon is way better on burgers than it is on pizza. Kingslayer, what would have happened if she wouldn't have met him? I think Megami would have just been kept being bullied by those girls who bullied her in the first part of episode 11. So she would have still been depressed and all that kind of stuff. And who knows what would have happened, honestly. I don't want to think about that. Oof, it could get really dark. Because depression, that's not good. Bree2452, what will be episode 12 like? Guitar guy and a crazy fangirl, maybe. Kingslayer, if Yuji was in Yu-Gi-Oh, what deck would he use, or Megami? If Yuji was in Yu-Gi-Oh, he would use, I feel like, freaking, what's a good one? I feel like Goki would be his thing. So Goki would be for Yuji, and Megami would be like freaking Melodious, just because they're hard to kill if you get two of them out on the same time on the same turn. So I don't know. Bree2452, what will be episode? Okay, I already answered that one. Hyperbomb, are you going to have Ikumi as... Wait, am I rereading these characters? Or these comments? Okay, Monkey Man, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? So what made me start a YouTube channel is, I don't know, I just liked doing Yu-Gi-Oh covers and that kind of stuff, and I noticed that nobody did one, and for some reason I like hearing English covers of anime openings, so that kind of got the ball rolling. It's not until Yandere stories became big that kind of blew up my channel, and that's why I'm focusing on Yandere stories as opposed to anything else as much, because that's the main focus of my channel. Kingslayer, what is one thing Sanai hate the most about Megami? I can't really speak for Sanai, but I think something that Sanai hates the most about Megami is the way that Megami is so clingy to Yuji. So, because if Megami wasn't clingy, I'm pretty sure Sanai would have had a chance. But who knows? Question from Kingslayer. It's not a question, but you are one of my favorite YouTubers. Oh, thank you, my dude. I really appreciate that. Like, comments like that are like hits my heart. I really do appreciate that. I don't know what I would do without you guys, honestly, but I really appreciate it. Drezik, is there a villain and a hero of this story? So that's kind of like black and white kind of question. The way I look at it is that this story doesn't really have a villain or a hero. Although Megami sounds kind of like a villain, she's more like an anti-hero in a way. Kind of like how Venom, if you guys don't read comics, Venom is like good and bad at the same time. Or if you've seen the movie, you know how he doesn't really kill people unnecessarily. He only kills like people who are kind of dicks or something like that. I kind of see it that way, where it's kind of in between, or it's kind of gray, where there is no good or evil, because if it's based on people's lives and stuff, and in your daily life, there is no black and white, good or evil kind of thing, where it's that apparent to what is good and evil. So, yeah. How long will the finale be? Okay, I can tell you this much, that the finale will be at least 25 minutes long. Plus, because there's two different routes. There's Route A and there's Route B. I'm sure if you guys looked on my YouTube channel, you see what they're called and stuff and what the options are. But each route will be about 10 minutes long. So together, it's about 45 minutes long. If you go through all of them, all the videos, it's like about 45 minutes long, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, it's around there. Are you good, Chief? I'm doing pretty good, Kingslayer. Thanks for asking. Did Megami ever bribe anyone so they wouldn't get close to Yuji? I can't tell you that. That's, you're gonna have to look forward to the finale tomorrow. So, Master Meep, will you ever continue school days? That's kind of tough question, Master Meep. I've been getting asked this question a lot. School days is kind of iffy just because of the fact that it takes so long and so much of my time in order to fan dub school days. I don't know if I want to keep going with school days. I might just finish episode 7 of school days and just like stop there, just because of how long it takes. But at the same time, I kind of don't want to stop doing school days, because I kind of want to finish it, because I know for a fact that it's never going to get an actual official dub unless someone licenses it. So, I mean, if I become a big YouTuber and get plenty of monies, and I might actually become a licensing company and just hire voice actors to do it for me. So, I don't know, to make it an official school days dub. But I don't know. I'm probably going to stop at episode 7. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. Kingslayer, how many friends do you have? In terms of like... in real life, I have a few friends. I have a few friends in real life. Half of my friends are on Discord. So if you guys check out my Discord, you can meet them. Drizik, again, I butchered the name. I'm sorry. What was the first expression of Megami to Yuji? Expression? Not sure what you mean by that. If you're talking about like reaction, I think Yuji thought Megami was cute, and kind of like well, it's hard to say because from Megami's perspective, you're gonna have to watch the next part in order to know what I mean. But in Yuji's perspective, he saw Megami as this like hopeless little girl that couldn't stand up for herself, and I think he actually kind of thought she was attractive. So obviously that's probably one of the biggest factors why he helped her, and the fact that he isn't really heartless, because if you've experienced through bullying and people like shunning you from I don't know, school and stuff, you're not going to be cold to other people who are in the same level as you are. So I don't know. Hyperbomb, are you Team Godzilla or Team Kong? I'm Team Godzilla. I actually like Godzilla, so I'm Team Godzilla. Xeno Hunter 928, are you interested in exploring the fantasy of for yanderes? Yes, actually, that's one thing I kind of wanted to get into. Maybe after episode 12, which is usually about one whole season in terms of anime. Anime-wise, I'm probably going to get into the fantasy side of the yanderes because it kind of expands the story and like everything else. So I'll see what happens from there. Kingslayer, what is your favorite yandere story you have done? Probably this one, dude. Like this one and episode 8, because episode 8 was really good. I actually liked how it turned out. And this one, because this one took forever, so there's no way I'm not gonna like this episode just because of how much effort I put into it. But yeah. Monkey Man, would you ever want to have a yandere girlfriend? Explain why, please. Good vibes. Good vibes. No, I do not want a yandere girlfriend because that would be horrifying. The reason why, because I don't, dude, I wouldn't want a girl who freaking would like stab people and stuff like that. So, because that's not cool. That would be kind of terrifying. Like, have you heard of what happened to this one guy in Japan, where this girl, like actually stabbed him because she was jealous? Yeah, that hurts. That shit hurts. So I don't want that to happen to me. So that's one of the big reasons why. Hey, what's up, Kagami, Ren, and Lin? How's it going? Kingslayer, did any of the characters hallucinate? No, they did not. Did any of the two girls ever stalk Yuji? I can't tell you that because you will have to watch it in part 8, the finale. So, yeah. Kagami Rin or Kagamini Mine Rin and Len, do you feel honored to carry the fan dubbing torch culture? You're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit more. Are you talking about like the school days fandom? Question mark? I don't know. Will you make yandere stories an animation video? Boy. Okay, so I really, 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 like, this is one of my dreams, is that one day I could, like, actually get a animation team together or something like that, and, like, if I become big enough, I could, like, create this group of people in order to animate these kinds of, animate these stories, because that would be so freaking cool. Like, oh my god, that would be amazing. Like I want to get to the level where Black Rooster Teeth is, like, or not Black Rooster, Rooster Teeth is with Ruby, where it's like it becomes such a cult, not in the bad way, like not that kind of cult, but such a big show within the internet space, and that, you know, everybody knows what Ruby is and that kind of stuff. I want to get to that point with my stories and stuff, because that would be so cool. Like either that or actually have a full-fledged video game or something like that. Not like Yandere Simulator, because that's not really a game, honestly. But like an actual good game. Took a jab at Yan Sim again. Yeah. Snowstar, do you have a... No, I already answered that question. Kevin, do you write the story? Yes, I did write the story. From episode 1 through 3, I did not write those. Those are from, like, blog posts. So I actually borrowed the stories from somebody else and made it. Or not made it, but, like, voiced it and stuff like that. From that episode, from episode 3 onward, I wrote every single thing right there. all original. None of them is copied. I didn't reference anything in terms of like I didn't like took somebody else's idea or anything like that. I came up with everything. So it's all original story writing. Chris Akane. Any future stories with actual animation? Maybe like if I can get an animation team together, maybe I could do that, but honestly at this point I can't. I'm not seeing any prospects in that section. But maybe if I can actually learn how to animate and probably do the 3D modeling or something like that, and be able to manipulate that kind of stuff and to do 3D animation, I probably could do something like that. Kagamine Ren and Len. Yeah, fan-dubbing has become rare. How do you feel doing it? Has fan-dubbing become that rare? Like, I think you're right in terms of that because of like copyright issues and stuff, and because a lot of these shows are already becoming dubbed by actual official licensors. I can see why it is becoming really rare, especially when they get taken down by YouTube and stuff, where it's like the only place you can actually post fan dubs and stuff that can actually get some traction. I don't know, dude. Like, I never really thought about that side of my content. I didn't really look into fan dubs that way before, but how do I feel about it, doing it? I think it's pretty cool. I like fandubbing. Like, I really wish I was hired as a voice actor, because that would be cool. Because I would go to conventions for free, and that would be pretty cool. I like going to anime conventions because it's a great atmosphere, and doing characters' voices and stuff would be pretty sick. So if you guys want me as a voice actor, please let Funimation or Crunchyroll know by tweeting at them, or tweeting other voice actors and be like, hey, get this guy on board or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm not really kidding, please. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But yeah. Kingslayer, can I try to animate one of your Yandere stories? And if yes, show you. Yeah, by all means. Like, if anybody wants to like animate it and show it to me, go ahead. I don't care. Just make my thing about using other people's content is if you link to the original source and say that this was originally made by this person, in the description or in the comment section, it being pinned in the comment section, then I don't care. Like, you can take the audio and just make an original animation. You can make it a meme or whatever. Like, I would love to see memes of that because that would be pretty funny. But yeah, go for it. Like, I would love to see more stuff like that. Will you ever, Kingslayer, would you ever do a Yandere stories by fans again? Yes, I kind of want to try it again to see how that goes, but because of Yandere Boy didn't turn out to be, I mean, I did get a good amount of people writing for Yandere Boy and try to do a story like that. But unfortunately, I didn't get enough that constitutes for a full-length story. Because a lot of the times I would have to like fill in my piece of the story, and I would have to write the rest. So, I mean, unless a lot of people are interested in this stuff and actually helps out with that kind of stuff, or like actually contributes and want to help out, or like wants to see how this turns out, then, you know, I mean, I'm more than willing to do that. Drizik, how old are the characters? Yeah, they're 18, guys. They're 18, so don't worry about that. They're 18. Scarlett Daniel, hi, I love from Romania. Hey, how's it going? Love from America or the U.S. Kagamini, Ren and Len, what do you think of anime abridgments? That's a lot. There's a lot to say about anime abridged series. Like I'd say like 80% of every abridged show on the internet is not funny. Like, I've seen a lot of abridged shows, and a lot of them, unless you're very good at comedy, it's gonna land flat. And doesn't matter how good your editing is, editing the lip flaps and stuff like that. If your abridged isn't funny, it's not gonna work out. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge was one of the few ones that and Dragon Ball Z Abridged and some Dragon Ball Z parodies were actually pretty funny. But a lot of the Abridged series aren't really that funny. And when people do make these Abridged series, they don't take in mind how hard it is to make funny content. Just because of the fact that, you know, you're going to have a funny sense of humor. Sometimes in your head it can sound funny, but when you actually make it, you look back at it and it's like, this is kind of cringy. But I have a whole discussion with that, so I might actually do that on an Annie Pop podcast episode. So if you're interested in that topic, please let me know, and I will make a Annie Pop podcast episode discussing this with my friends and stuff. So which would be pretty awesome. Flawless Cowboy, I left about an hour ago. What I missed? You missed a lot, man. Hyperbomb, are you going to do other creature yanderes or only stick with human yanderes? Oh, okay. Are you going to do creature yandere characters? That's interesting. I think that's more on the fantasy side of things, and maybe if I explore the fantasy side of yanderes, I probably will do go creature-wise and stuff like that, as opposed to just human yandere characters. Monkey Man, do you reward yourself after finishing an episode? Yes, I reward myself with a good cup of tea, because I'm British like that. I actually needed that sip because like my voice was becoming really dry from talking so much. Kagamine, Ren, and Len. Do you stand with Vic or Monica, if you know the drama that is? Oof, I don't know, man. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff between drama. Like, I did make a video on this covering this topic. I don't really want to say anything controversial, but from what it stands, from what I can tell, I kind of stand with Vic a little bit more because of the fact that it doesn't seem like he didn't do anything that wrong, and it's because of our culture now that he's gotten into a lot of heat. But I can't really say for sure. But as far as I stand, I kind of leaning towards him. So I don't know. King Slayer, I wouldn't put it on YouTube though. Hey, what's up, Ali? Dirizik, again, I butchered your name. If you were in the story, how would you feel if Megami drugging you? Oof, dude, that would be kind of terrifying if I got drugged like that. I feel bad for Yuji, but thank God it ain't me, right? King Slayer, if you were on Yandere Stories Part 7, how would the story change? What do you mean by if you were on Yandere Stories Part 7? Part 7. You mean episode 7 or part 7? Or if I were still writing part 7. You're going to have to clarify that question. Professional Dev 1. What are some tips you have for voice actors that are just starting out, such as how to get into character properly, etc.? I'm glad you asked, my good friend. Okay, so the way you can get into a character when you're voice acting is that you have to put yourself in their shoes. Like, I'm sure you've heard of this before. A lot of people, I guess in a way, it's kind of common sense. But in order to get into a character, you have to think of yourself in that situation. Like, what would you do in that situation? Like, what would you feel in that situation? And it's really hard to express yourself when you're voice acting because you don't have anybody to react to. So you have to have a really good imagination in order to play out the scenario. Like, for example, if you're grieving about someone's loss or something, you're like, how can this be? Like, you gotta put emotion into it, and mostly you gotta focus that emotion into your voice and amplify it, like dramatize it. That's why a lot of voice actors sound kind of ridiculous when they voice act anime characters, because it's kind of like out there and stuff like that. So you really have to put I guess to sum it up, you have to use your imagination and put yourself in those character shoes. I don't know. That's the best advice I got, man. Monkey Man, what is your favorite anime that has a yandere in it? Oof, dude. It would have to be, what was that one? Dude, there's a lot. I think, I want to say Shuffle, just because of the fact that that was my first yandere character I've ever was introduced to. Either Shuffle or, I don't want to say Yunagasai, because that's just so basic. either Shuffle or the girl from, oh yeah, from that world where they censor everything, like you can't have intercourse and that kind of stuff, or you can't talk about that stuff. So that's a good show. It's pretty funny. Anna Shishimura or something like that. That one, I totally forgot what it was called. You're gonna have to remind me. Kevin, why did you decide to make the Yandere series? Because it's awesome, and because of Mirai Nikki and the whole Yandere thing that was going on at the time. Kamini, Ren, and Len, to stop tormenting you, just say Ren and not the whole thing. Oh, anyway. Oof. Okay. I'll just say Ren then from now on. Have you seen the Devil May Cry anime or played the games? If so, what is your favorite character and why? Have I seen Devil May Cry? I played the games. Depending on which one you're talking about. Are you talking about DMC or the original Devil May Cry series? Because I played Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 2. I actually like the games. They're on PS2. I actually own them on PS2. They're freaking fun. They're freaking fun as heck. My favorite character, dude, I'm sorry. I'm Dante, obviously, because he's very witty and like he's pretty funny as well. So the original Devil May Cry Dante is like funny as heck. But I do like the new DMC character, which was like an alternative universe of Devil May Cry. So it's a pretty fun character. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I think he was pretty cool. I like his jacket though. I kind of wanted to get a jacket like his. Jay, am I considered a friend? Yeah, Kingslayer, of course. You and like anybody who like isn't like mean are my friends, because you know you guys are awesome. You guys support me for what I do, and that's awesome. I think you guys are great. Although even though we don't really talk personally or in that kind of stuff, I still consider anybody who's like nice to me and actively like interacting with me like friends. Ren or Len. What did you say? What you wanted to me call Ren? Just say Ren. Okay. Favorite lore from any type of media. That's hard. I'd say Harry Potter, because Harry Potter has a lot of lore. I like the Voldemort lore in Harry Potter. So, Kevin, I just got here. Kingslayer. Oh, like what if you were in the actual universe of Yandere Stories, the newest one? What is a cliche that that has happened to you? Cliche that has happened to me. That's hard. I can't really say. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, so I can't really say. What would you, Kingslayer, what would you do if time was stopped after 24 hours? Like, would I stop with time as well, or did everything around me stop, but I was still moving? Because that would be kind of terrifying. That means you would be aging faster than anybody else. Oof, dude, that's kind of scary. I'd probably just contemplate life, I guess. Oof. Drizzik. If Yandere girl you think is smarter at kidnapping Hachi from episode 7 or Megami? So are you saying if Hachi is smarter than Megami? I think Megami is smarter in terms of how she executes stuff. Hachi is alright. She isn't the smartest character, but I'd say Megami is smarter. Kingslayer, which is crazier from the Yandere stories and or Love Case? Wait, what? Who is crazier from the Yandere stories and of Love Case? I don't know what you mean by that. You're gonna have to clarify what you mean by that. Monkey Man, how did you think of the name Jaden Day Zero? Oof, that's a good question, my man. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have known, but there's a game a long time ago called Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Evolution, which was an online MMO of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you could play Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and stuff with other people, and you had your little avatar and that kind of stuff. And because I like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Jaden Yuki was his English dub name. I like like his name Jaden, and that's where I got the Jaden part. Jaden Day. The day part I got it from because it's always sunny in a day and stuff like that, and sunny means happy and that kind of stuff. So I kind of correlated day with happiness because Jaden's always happy and stuff. So I combined Jaden Day into one word, and And so, or Happy Jaden, I guess. I don't know. Kind of weird. I was like 11 at the time, so I don't know what I was thinking. But Jaden Day, well, I wasn't 11. I was like 14 or something. I don't know. I can't remember when I made that username, but that's where I got it from. And Zero, that was just something I added way later. After I made a new YouTube channel. Zero is from Code Geass, Lelouch, how he puts on the mask of Zero. That's where I got that part. So it's from Code Geass and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX combined kind of thing. So Ren, most difficult project you have worked on? Probably this one right here. Episode 11 of Yandere Stories is probably the most difficult project I have ever worked on, just because of the fact that it's there's so much work involved. In terms of difficulty, I don't think it was pretty difficult in terms of writing for such a big story, so that's the difficult one. I have worked on visual novels before, but I kind of just like dropped them because of the fact that I didn't have patience. So I don't know. Hey, Pineapple Pizza, how's it going? Shimoneta Zalzimo, yeah, thanks for letting me know. Shimoneta, that was the anime I was talking about. Kingslayer, everything would stop except you. Any plans on episode? Okay, so if time stopped for me, everything stopped except for me, then yeah, that would be probably the worst case scenario, because I would age rapidly if you think about it. That'd be pretty scary. Kevin, any plans on episode 12? Yes, I actually already have ideas for episode 12. I just need to start writing them, so it's going to be a while before episode 12 actually comes out. So, of course, you know how things go with me, right? Like, I take forever writing these stories. But, you know, if you guys like this story, then, you know, it's kind of worth it, right? I don't know. It's up to you. Quick. Ren, every time you write a story, it becomes real. What do you do? Stop writing. Keep writing and make things interesting. Fight someone powerful. Use it for others of your own gain. Also, Devil May Cry stream. You write a story, it becomes real. What do you do? I don't know what you mean by that, Ren. Are you saying like every time I write a story, it becomes real? Like I don't understand what you're trying to say there. Also, Devil May Cry stream. Dude, I really want to, like, I did stream Devil May Cry, or DMC before, and I got copyrighted because of the music. But if I streamed the original Devil May Cry game, I'm sure I'd be fine. So maybe if there's enough demand, if people ask me to, I probably will stream Devil May Cry, because that's a good game. Kingslayer, I mean, who is the craziest for love in the series? Who is the craziest love in the whole Yandere series? Dude, I think, what was her name? From episode 8. I'd have to tell, because she is more of a lunatic rather than a Yandere, based on what people, or she's more a Yangiri, I guess, rather than the Yandere, as some people pointed out before. So I'd say her from episode 8. Xeno Hunter 928. Okay, I gotta read this right. After making these stories, what experience would you share for writing a good story? Good question. Okay, my experience based to write a good story. You gotta think about it this way. When you're making a story, think about it. At how do you want to end the story? What's the big climax of the story? Like, what's something hype that you want your listeners or readers to read that makes you hyped up for it too? Because this is how I do my stories. Like, I think about the hypest stuff ever within a story. It's like, oh my god, this is crazy. This is crazy. But how do I get from point A to point B and to this specific part of the story to make it seem dramatic and big and stuff? And that's how you think about it, and then you just slowly put different points within the story and connect them all, kind of like those puzzle pictures where they have little dots all over the place with numbers, and you have to connect them all to make a picture. Kind of like that. You have to like make dots of different story plots and then connect them all somehow, and you fill in the gaps with dialogue and, you know, the different kind of stuff. That's how I do it. So I don't know. You just have to start from the ending and make your way to the beginning. Hyperbomb, are you still making that Yandere game? Yes and no. Yes, in terms of like, I kind of do want to keep going and making that game, but I don't have time. I haven't really had time for it because of like, real work. Like, I actually have to have a job and stuff, and it's taking a lot of my time, unfortunately. Like, if I was able to do YouTube full time, I probably will be able to make more stuff like games and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I can't do that. So, but yeah, I little by little, I'm kind of working on the game. I kind of just want to hire a writer because of the fact that it takes so long to write these stories. Like, I kind of want to be the person who directs the whole thing, and like be like, okay, this is what's going to happen in this part, and this part, and you as a writer can like fill in the blanks and stuff and connect everything together. So I kind of want to do that, but because creating this story for a video game is so difficult. So yeah, I don't know. That's why it's taking so long, especially if it's a visual novel. So I don't know. Kevin, would you ever consider doing stories based on Yandere stories? What? No, I don't understand that question. It's doing stories based on besides Yandere stories. Okay, I read that wrong, Kevin. Yes. I actually do. I want to write stories beside Yandere stories. Like, if you guys haven't seen, I do make Death Note stories, like based on the actual novel. That and I did try my go at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 storyline thing, which is kind of hidden within my channel. If you look it up, search it up, I'm sure you can find it. That and Stories of Evil, which is based on Japanese folklore and stuff, and making them into stories like kind of like Yandere stories, but instead it's based on like horror, the folklore of Japanese folklore, like the 8 feet woman or the girl with like the big mouth thing and stuff like that kills you and stuff like that. Because I want to like explore different avenues in terms of story writing and stuff. So yeah, I did think I am currently working on like different kinds of stories. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are interested, especially the people who are into my Yandere stories. They don't really care about that stuff. They only want here for the Yanderes, which is totally fine. If people like their own stuff, but if they become interested in these other stories, and that's another reason why they're subscribed to me, then that means it's a success. So I don't know. Drizzik, if you were to pick a story of the ones you make out about Yandere, which one would pick? Honestly, I would pick Yuji's story. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I would have to pick Yuji's story as well. All right, see you, Ren. Kevin, how long does it take to make a Yandere episode? Dude, that really depends on my writing speed. Like, sometimes it can take a week. Another times it could take like a month, just because I take breaks in between everything, and because of that it takes longer. But usually without breaks and stuff, it can take about a week to create like at least one part of an episode. To make a whole length episode like episode 11, that could take whoever. I don't know how long that would take. Like, at that point it could be a novel, like a mini novel, because of how long the script is. But I don't know. Let's see. Flawless Cowboy, y'all, I'm over an hour behind. Oof. Hyperbomb, is she going to physically hurt Yuji? Stay tuned for tomorrow for the next part. Kingslayer, would Megami ever hurt Yuji? And would Sanai ever hurt Yuji? Or would Sanai ever hurt you? So, would Megami ever hurt Yuji? And would Sanai ever hurt Yuji? Would either of the girls hurt Yuji? Yes, I don't think Sanai would, because obviously she isn't as crazy as Megami, as you will see in the next upcoming part. So that you will have to stay tuned and you'll see what happens. Depending on what you pick, you'll see what happens. What happened to Yuji's family? So Yuji's okay. So if he did explain that dude, I kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of, I can't think right now, but Yuji's mom is working at the bar thing, and she doesn't have time to like go to sleep and stuff, because she has to keep like working to like make ends meet and that kind of stuff. It's that kind of family dynamic, and Yuji's dad left them, so she's a single mom with Yuji and stuff like that. So it's just them two supporting each other, and that's kind of it. Like, have you guys ever heard of Toradora? Kind of like the main protagonist, where he's alone with his mom. I kind of got that idea based off that. So, Monkey Man, the background of your stream looks familiar. Where is it from? I don't know. I have no idea. I just got off of Google because it looked like a red carpet thing, and I was like, yeah, this is a premiere, so I might as well go with red carpet. What is the canon ending for the newest episode? What is going to come out tomorrow? I can't really tell you. The canon ending could be anything you want it to be, honestly. That's why I made it 2 parts, or 2 routes, because I want to make it so you pick your own adventure kind of thing. And that's the beauty of this kind of thing. Like, have you ever played the Black Mirror game, interactive series on Netflix? It's kind of, I want to make it like that. So you pick your own fates and your own story, and you make it canon to what you want. If you're talking about my personal canon, I would have to, I can't really tell you until like after the newest part gets published, or premieres. So I'll let you guys know in the chat when that premieres. Monkey Man, how did you get the idea of putting 2 yanderes in Darker Than Reality? Okay, so somebody actually did mention in the comment section that, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if you added 2 yanderes in the story and stuff like that? And I thought about it. I was like, would it be interesting? Yes, it would be. So I kind of, yes and no, I kind of took the idea from somebody else, but at the same time I was like, Sanae isn't really a yandere to that extent. She's more like a lighter yandere character. Yes, she does love Yuji to a very big extent, to an extent that she would like do these atrocious things in order for Megami to get out of the picture. But she isn't as much yandere as Megami is. So yeah. But I kind of lost my train of thought. Oof. But yeah, I don't know. Hyperbomb, is it weird that I usually like it when the yandere wins? No, it's not weird. I mean, it's kind of, I'm kind of the same way, where I want to see the antagonist win, because you'd never see that kind of stuff ever in like media in general, because a lot of the times it's always the protagonist that wins, and you never get to see an antagonist win. So I don't blame you. Xeno Hunter 928 says, if you were able to experience Japan for 2 or 3 years, would this change your way of writing or no? Yes, it would. It would change the way of my writing, because then I could tell myself, wow, you're way off when it comes to culture and Japanese culture and stuff like that. So yes, it would. So if you guys would like to sponsor me on my trip to Japan, please do. You can send me the monies through PayPal, or you can donate to my Patreon, and so I can buy plane tickets and stuff. I'm just kidding. But it would be pretty cool to go to Japan. Unfortunately, I can't go to Japan because of the whole thing that's going on right now. But in the future, I actually plan on going to Japan, and we'll see where how that changes my writing. Kingslayer, would Megami ever kill someone for Yuji? I can't tell you that. That's a spoiler, so you'll see. I think that's a spoiler. Saying it's a spoiler within itself. So, I mean, I don't know. Has Megami ever paid for Yuji, like bills wise, or paid Yuji's boss so he can get more money? I can confirm your theory that Megami would never pay for Yuji's expenses, and Yuji would never ask Megami to pay have her pay for his expenses, because Yuji is a kind of character where he takes pride in being noble and honest and that kind of stuff. So even though he's a delinquent, I guess he as a delinquent has like pride and stuff, so he doesn't like to take hand-me-outs or something like that. That's why he's still working, and that's what makes him a good friend to Megami, because he's not looking for money when it comes to Megami, when it comes to Yuji's and Megami relationship. He's not really looking at Megami as a way to, pay for his bills or something like that. He wants to be genuinely wants to be Megami's friend. So that's why Megami, I believe, fell in love with him really hard because of that. Because as we explored earlier in the episodes, it's because Megami was all alone and everybody just looked at her as a piggy bank and stuff like that, and she got tired of it. And because Yuji was the only character or the only person who would treat her like a normal person, then I'm sure anybody would feel the same way. That if you're the opposite gender, obviously you would probably fall for them. But if you're the same gender, you obviously would be like, wow, this person is fantastic. I want to be their friend. I want to be their best friend, that kind of stuff. What is your favorite anime show? I have to say right at this moment is Dr. Stone. I'm kind of saving, or I'm kind of waiting it off a little bit until the dub comes out for Dr. Stone. Because until it gets to episode 5 in English dub, then I'm going to start watching Dr. Stone. But other than that, Dr. Stone is my favorite anime right now. In terms of overall, I would have to say Welcome to the NHK, just because of the psychological things that goes around the otaku culture and stuff in Japan and that kind of stuff. It's very fascinating. Like, if you guys haven't seen Welcome to the NHK, recommend that show. Really good show. Go watch it. Drizzik, who will Yuji end up with? That's spoiler, and you will have to wait to tomorrow. Monkey Man, what would your reaction be if you saw a news article about Yandere right now? I did see a news article in Japan that happened about real life Yandere, and it was very terrifying because, you never think that kind of stuff happens, but it actually does happen, and it's crazy. It happens all the time. But yeah, that's terrifying. Kingslayer, like in the shadows, though? I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about Monkey Man's question? Kingslayer, where Megami has helped Yuji in his job, but like in the shadows? No, I don't think so. I don't think Megami would go to that extent where like, oh hey, I'm just gonna help Yuji because he's nice to me and stuff like that in the shadows. Like, I think in the back of her mind she might feel like she needs to help Yuji and financially like that because she has the money to do so. But at the same time, she knows that Yuji is stubborn and wouldn't take that money because he has pride, and because like he has pride, she will think that okay, if I do this, he's gonna hate me. So obviously she's not gonna go that route when it comes to that kind of stuff. Professor Dev 1, have you ever thought about going into voice acting as a career? Yes and no. Yes, in terms of like I am doing voice acting work. Currently I am working on a project for somebody else's like I wouldn't say fan original content. I would say like their original comic book content or whatever they're making on I don't know where they're posting. I think it was like they're posting it on Twitter as well as YouTube or something. But I will be voicing the antagonist of the whole thing. So if you guys are interested, please look forward to that. I will post on my Twitter account or repost it or whatever, and you will find my voice there. I have done other risque voice acting for 18 plus content that, yeah, it's that kind of content. And it was a paid job, so I guess I'm technically a voice actor in that sense. If you're kind of want to say you're a voice actor, if you get paid, then I guess I kind of am a voice actor. Especially if I'm doing this content, I am voicing Yuji's voice. I do Yuji's voice and stuff like that. So I guess technically I am a voice actor, and technically this is kind of like a career in a way. But in terms of like official anime voice acting and stuff, like voicing anime characters on the actual shows and stuff, I would love to do that. Like, oh my god, that would be the freaking coolest thing ever. I'd be so happy with doing that. But unfortunately, I highly doubt that's ever going to happen, considering that a lot of the voice actors are based in Texas and California, and I have lived nowhere near there. So I live in the Midwest, so that's like in the middle of nowhere, and there's like no voice acting companies there. So unfortunately, and I feel like my voice acting isn't as good as I would like it to be. And I feel like I can't reach that point where I'm very good at voice acting. So I'm kind of like on like in the middle of where I kind of wish I could do voice acting, but at the same time, like I don't know if I can. So, but yeah. Can you, Chris Akane, can Yuji become a yandere? You know, that would be pretty interesting. But at this point, it's kind of too late for him to become a yandere because he's traumatized about everything that's going on. So, unfortunately, I don't think he can become yandere. But it may be in an alternative universe, kind of like the DC cinematic universe, where it's like everything's connected. He probably is a yandere in a different world. Kingslayer, has Yuji ever gone crazy before? No, I don't think he has. Like, not before the whole incident that happened with him and this other person, when he punched him. Before, because it did explain that before this whole incident, he was just a normal soccer team lead. He was popular with everybody and stuff like that. Will be explained later in the next part. But no, he has never gone crazy before. Kingslayer, do you have a girlfriend? Okay, so I'm not shy or embarrassed about revealing if I have a girlfriend or not. Yes, I do have a girlfriend. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I love her very much. We've been together for like more than a year, so I'm very proud of her, of what she does, because she is on my Discord server. So if you guys want to talk to her, by all means, you can join my Discord, and she's on there all the time. But yeah, I do have a girlfriend. So for those ladies out there like thinking that I was single, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I have a girlfriend. Chris Akane, I'm in Texas. We have Funimation over here. Yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky. You have Funimation over there. Here where I live, we have nothing. We have cornfields. That's what we got. Monkey Man, what made you get into anime? Like, what was the first anime you watched, and what made you want to watch more anime? Okay, I'm pretty sure everybody experienced this before. Everybody's favorite anime was like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, that kind of stuff. Mine was Yu-Gi-Oh, so that's what got me into anime. I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was originally made in America. I didn't think, because it was English and stuff like that, right? But then later I found out that Yu-Gi-Oh is Japanese and stuff. And because of that, I learned that there's this whole culture of Japanese anime shows, and they're way better than the cartoons that we make here in America, like SpongeBob and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, bruh, I need to know more about this stuff. So because of that, I actually picked up manga, and I read Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist, and that's what got me into anime. And after that, I kind of got to the point of no return and got really deep into anime, to the point where I become a trash weeb. So, which I'm very proud of. I wear it as a badge of honor to be a trash weeb. So, yeah. The first anime would be, I would have to say, I want to say Full Metal Alchemist was my first actual anime that isn't mainstream like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. So I'd say Full Metal Alchemist, which is a great show, by the way. Kingslayer, did Yuji ever had a girlfriend? No, he did not. Like, as far as his character goes, and how I developed Yuji in this story, he is a character who is dedicated to playing soccer, to a point where he really doesn't have time for a girlfriend and stuff. And I'm pretty sure he gets a lot of confessions from other girls, but he always denies them because of the fact that, you know, he's very busy with soccer and stuff. Either that, or like he never thinks about that stuff, and he's just too busy with his own thing. So I don't know. I kind of based on how I think about things, I think Yuji, no girls would ever dare go up to him because he's so popular and stuff. So it's one of those things. Like, because this guy is popular, these girls have formed an alliance around Yuji to say, oh, you can't touch him, and I won't touch him either. So we are going to admire him from a distance. So no girls actually confesses to him and stuff like that. That's how I want to see it, at least. Unclear. I'm still waiting for part 2 with Fallen Shadow. Okay, I don't know if Fallen Shadow would ever be interested in doing collab for a next part. But I mean, I could try asking her to see if she's interested. That would be pretty funny and interesting, but who knows, honestly. Like, if you guys tweet Fallen Shadow and tag me in it, by all means do it, and I'll be more than happy to do a collab with Fallen Shadow, because that would be pretty funny to keep going at episode 9 of Yandere Stories with Fallen Shadow. It's been 2 or 3, if I do remember correctly. Yes, it has been 2 or 3 years with Fallen Shadow. Kingslayer, why is the word bastard used a lot in Yandere Stories? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna have to drink because my throat is literally drying up so badly. That hits the spot really well. Okay. Here's the thing about my scripts and stuff when I use the word bastard and stuff a lot in particular episodes and stuff is because I forget that I used that word previously in a couple of paragraphs before. And because when I write my scripts, I don't write it all in one go. I usually just write like a paragraph, then the next day I write another paragraph, then the next day I write another one and stuff like that. And I keep tabs of what's going on in another Word document. I don't like reread everything. I just keep tabs on the events that happened, that connects everything, and I just fill in the blanks in betweens or whatever. So sometimes I do this dumb thing where I repeat words that it sounds like or cuss words or something. I don't know what you want to say. And it sounds repetitive and stuff like that, which isn't good, by the way. I should probably stop. But that's my own fault in terms of script writing. That's why I kind of want to get better at script writing. And hopefully later on, as I keep making these videos, I get way better and stop being super repetitive when it comes to that kind of stuff. So sorry about that if I used that word too much, because I felt like those words were appropriate within that context of the script. But I guess sometimes it's not, and I should probably stop. Many21. Oh, hey man, I like your Sora icon profile pic. Will part 7 have a happy ending? Part 7. Are you talking about the episode 11, part 7? I can't tell you that because you're gonna have to look tomorrow. But if you're talking about episode 7, like my previous Yandere stories, and I don't know, man, I haven't really touched that story in a long time, so I can't really say. Kingslayer, what would happen if Yuji was in Persona 5? He would probably be beat up, and probably the Phantom Thieves will go after him or something because they think he's a delinquent. So, but I think Ryuji and Yuji would get along very well. Chris Akane, we're inspired to make this Yandere story like from the other slice of life animes like Snafu. That's a good show. Toradora is pretty good too. QnA School Days. I noticed it has elements in that like that. Were you inspired to make this Yandere story from the other? Yes and no. Like I did take some aspects of other stories, but a lot of the story for episode 11, I kind of just make it on my own. I kind of really thought about it very well, and I thought about this how I was going to approach this. I didn't really took little things from other shows like QnA and Toradora and that kind of stuff. The only thing from Toradora I did take was the dynamic between Yuji and Yuji's parent or mother, because her mother in Toradora is like a bar, not bar hostess, but she's a hostess and stuff. She works at night, so she never has time to like interact with her son, and that's the only aspect of Toradora I took, is that dynamic. But other than that, everything else is kind of like original. I didn't really take anything. Kingslayer, would Yandere stories be different if Megami didn't exist? Like in their universe? Yes, it would be different because, you know, if Megami, kind of like you mentioned before, like if Sanai didn't exist, Megami would have the chance to go with Yuji. I think if Megami didn't exist, Sanai wouldn't have the opportunity to go up to Yuji and talk to him again, because of the fact that there's this stigma around Yuji, and if she got too close to Yuji, she would get the same treatment as he would. So I think Yuji would just be by himself and like until he graduated and that kind of stuff. Ted Doggo, when you're done with series, will you make another Yandere series? Yes, I will. I will keep making these videos, so don't worry, guys. I will keep making this. That's a promise. Should I really be making promises? I don't know, but hey, as long as I can write a good story, I will keep making them as much as I can because I like writing stories and they're awesome. And yeah, my dream is to become a director of a big production, and that would be pretty freaking cool. You know, it's funny because originally I wanted to become an animator when I was a little kid, but now I kind of want to be a director because it's really cool and fun. But yeah, who knows? Hopefully one day I can be as big as Kevin Feige from the guy who directed the Avengers or the cinematic universe, and that'd be freaking cool. That'd be awesome. Of course, if I become that big of a director, of course I will give you guys a shout out and invite you guys to a screening of the biggest blockbuster movie in the world, almost as big as Avengers, Endgame and stuff. Do you like Yanderes, like actual Yanderes? No, I don't like real life, but fictional Yandere characters, yeah, they're pretty cool. What would Yuji's job be? What do you mean Yuji? Yuji's job in the story right now, Yuji's job is he works at the bar as a waiter or a bartender, and yeah, that's what he does. Manny21, what if Yuji went to JoJo Bizarre Adventure Universe? That would be pretty funny. He'd probably be beat up and stuff. Xeno Hunter 928, hello from Cali, and what would be the best skill to accompany your writing? The best skill to accompany my writing? I don't know, man. Like, I wish I probably more organization and like time management, because I feel like with time management I will be able to like delegate my time in order to pump out these stories even more, and be able to write more in one go rather than like writing bit by bit at a time. So I think that's a skill I need to develop more, is time management, and probably just organize. I'm getting better at organizing my stories for sure. So that, and like probably my vocabulary needs to be wider and bigger, because I feel like I'm using too simple of a words. Like there's more words out there in the English language which I could use to explain situations way better, but I'm not using them because I'm not aware of them, or it's just like I haven't been exposed to those words yet, because I don't really read a lot of novels and stuff. I read a lot of manga but not novels, so that's probably why. That's why my writing is so simple and stuff. Chris Akane, I really would like more segments where the Yandere is giving a monologue, because it explains why they are Yandere and it goes in depth with their character. I kind of agree with that. Yes, I would love to do that too, but unfortunately, because unless it's a Yandere male character, I would have to hire a voice actress in order to voice that Yandere character to do that monologue. Because you will experience this very monologue in the next part tomorrow, which you can watch at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just so you guys know. But yeah, you will see what I mean. And that whole monologue, it was like a whole page long, which was way too much. Even for the voice actor, I'm sure it was way too much lines. But I made sure she got compensated for the extra work that I wrote. So yeah, it's a lot of work. If it was like from the perspective of a guy Yandere character, then it's easier to do a monologue, because I could just voice act it. But because if it's a girl, then it's more difficult because of like because I have to pay the voice actors even more, and I'm kind of like thin because I actually do pay my voice actors and stuff, because I feel it just feels more right if you pay your voice actors for stuff like this. So that's what I do. And I don't know, it's just like really difficult when you involve money in the process of creating content. Then it becomes very, very difficult to do a lot of stuff, trust me. So Monkey Man, where would you want to live at California or in Texas? If I could, I would live in Texas, because of the fact that it's not as crazy as California is right now. In Texas, I would probably live around Dallas or Houston or something where Funimation is located, because that would open up to many opportunities in terms of the anime industry. So, yeah. Kingslayer, what would have happened if Yuji never became a delinquent? I think he would just been the ace of a soccer team and just went along with his life, honestly. Ted Doggo, are you interested in making a novel? Yes, I do. Thanks for asking. Somebody actually did mention that I should make a full-on novel. I was thinking of making a Yandere short story novel where it has each little chapter was its own little story thing, kind of like a compilation in a sense. I think that would be pretty freaking cool. And I publish it on Amazon and that kind of stuff. I thought about it because you can publish novels on Amazon. You just order it and you can actually get a physical copy of the novel. It's really cool. So that's something I'm gonna look into very soon, probably this year or something, and start writing. But I need someone to proofread my writing because I could be really crusty and I could be really bad. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But yeah, I am actually thinking of making a novel. So we'll see where that goes. Oof, wish me luck. Kingslayer, what I meant before was what would Yuji's job be right after Yandere stories? Are you talking about the events after Yandere stories? I mean, you will see because within Yandere stories, if depending on what you pick, in terms of the ending, you will find out what he does. So there is more to the story after what happens, after the events of this story. Ted Doggo. And do you actually need to compete in a competition to publish it to the public? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think you need to compete to publish. That's why Amazon it allows you to publish your own novels and stuff directly through their site. There's a lot of publishing companies where you can just submit your novel to them and they will publish it, and if it gets any traction, they will print out at that time of order. So you can actually publish your books. You don't need to win a competition or anything. I think the reason why people think like that is because they think that entering into competitions and stuff like that is good because it improves you as a writer, because you have critiques and stuff, as well as the fact that you got exposure to more people and the people read your stuff to analyze and critique your work. So entering your works into competitions is good for your own self-esteem and your own feed to become better. Personally, I've never done it before, so I can't really say from personal experience, but I heard it's really good, so I don't know. Chris Akane, like a light novel. Exactly like a light novel. Ethan, I like to eat eggs, politely ignore if you agree, bruh. Manny21, usually went to the dark side. Star Wars reference. Nice. Kingslayer, what music do you like? I like hardcore music, like Bring Me the Horizon, freaking a lot of stuff like that. Bring Me the Horizon. I like lo-fi hip hop. I've recently been listening to a lot of anime openings. A little, I wouldn't say BTS, but I've been getting into K-pop a little bit, depending on what it is. Like the opening of Black Clover, that's a K-pop band, or opening 12 of Black Clover is like a K-pop band, and I really like them. Same with Shield Hero. The opening of Shield Hero is like a J-pop band, but they're still pretty. The music is pretty dope. So kind of songs like that is pretty awesome. A lot of them is more like lo-fi hip hop and that kind of stuff. So Chris Akane. Like how you that movie Flavors of Youth. It's short stories, but you can do short Yandere stories. Yeah, I thought about that, so I might actually do that with Yandere Diaries. So I don't know. We have the same taste in music. Nice. Yeah, awesome, dude. Okay, so I think here is a great stopping point. Oof, I'm like out of breath. Like this is a lot of questions. Maybe answer like 3 more questions. Whew, man, I'm like exhausted. Holy crap. And like my throat is really dry right now. Like, oh my god, I haven't talked like this much in a while, but looks like it's a good stopping point right here. It's already been like almost 4 hours. It's almost reaching 4 hours. Like, bruh, that's a lot. That's the longest stream I've ever done. But let's see. I guess to answer 3 more questions. Chris Akane, then if you make an anime opening for Yandere stories, what would it be? A rock theme? No, not really. If I'm gonna make a theme for Yandere stories, I think it would be like a bubbly, dark theme, kind of like what was that one anime show where where that Yandere girl likes a little kid? I forgot what it was. Kind of like that, like sweet and something. I don't know. I forgot what it was, but kind of like that. Kind of like popish music in a way, but like dark, has like some dark elements to it, or like gothic Japanese rock music or something like that. I don't know. Monkey Man, why do potatoes make great detectives? Because they keep their eyes peeled. That's great joke, Monkey Man. And I made you talk so much. I am proud of myself. Thanks, King Slayer, for asking so many questions. Because I feel like I'm not a loser that people don't care about. It makes me happy. Thank you for the questions. I really like answering questions. It's great. Happy Sugar Life. Yeah, that's the show. Happy Sugar Life. That's the show I'm talking about. The opening of Happy Sugar Life is kind of what I would think of when it comes to an anime opening of my Yandere shows. Yeah. Yeah, thanks guys for answering my assumptions. So, but yeah, okay, we have room for 2 more questions. 2 more questions. I'm surprised everybody stay this long and listening to me talk, because it's pretty crazy. Because usually when the whole thing is over, people leave, and only like 5 people remain, I guess. But from what I can tell, there's like 17 people watching, which I don't know why a lot of these people are watching, because like I'm not really that interesting. But hey, I really appreciate it though, because it just tells me that you guys actually care about what I do. So it's great. I'm glad. I'm happy. That makes me happy. What is an anime where you were scared of? Oof. What is... I think Gantz... Was it Gantz? That one show where all these monsters can kill the characters with one blow or something? I think that's one of the shows that kind of like that kind of terrifies me a little bit. Like I couldn't finish that show because of how gory it was, and like blood and stuff all over the place. Like it's anime and you know it's bound to happen, but yeah. Ted Doggo, Jaden, I look forward to the new episode, and I really love your work. Keep it up, and I hope you reach higher status. Thank you, Ted Doggo. Thank you for the comment and the compliments, and thank you for supporting me. Really appreciate it. Interesting to see you talk. I don't know what it's fun, and I'm happy to be here. So, I'm glad you're happy to be here. Thanks, Kingslayer. Yeah, I have questions. I can answer one more question before I pass out because I've talked too much. Because Kingslayer here made me talk so much. So, if you guys have one more question, by all means, please. I guess we'll end. Let's see, which one should I answer? I guess since I don't really answer Chris Akane questions too much, I'll answer your as a final question. Have you seen this new anime called Talentless Nana? It kind of has Yandere elements. No, I have not seen it, but I will add that to my bucket list because there's a bunch of shows I need to watch, and if it has some kind of Yandere element, that would make for great content as a commentary video thing, or like a critique video of the premise of the show or something like that. But yeah, thanks for the recommendation. I really love recommendations. Like, if you guys have any recommendations in terms of like content and stuff like that, or like what anime shows I should watch or check out, please, no matter what, like whatever I post in terms of videos, just throw a recommendation out there. Be like, hey, check this out. This is awesome. You should never miss this show because it's great, and I will totally check it out. But yeah, have you seen Goblin Slayer? Yes, I have, and yeah, you you take a lot of energy, King Slayer. Hey Zell, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. It's been like 4 hours. Oh, oof, man, dude. 4 hours, dude. Oh, man. But yeah, I really do appreciate every single one of you who stopped by and stayed around for this long. It's crazy. I don't know why. But, well, King Slayer, you said you liked watching me stream. So, like, hey, thanks. And thanks for everybody who actually did stick around, like Chris and Manny and all you guys, all you fantastic folks and Ted Doggo and Monkey Man. You guys are great. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And for those who were watching it but didn't type anything in the chat, big shout out to you guys too for just sticking around. But yeah. You guys are hilarious, honestly. But yeah, I'm kind of speechless right now. I don't know. I really do appreciate it. Like, I feel the love here. Love right now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the final episode of Yandere Stories, episode 11, part 8, the big finale of Yandere, episode 11. So stay tuned for tomorrow. It's almost tomorrow, so in the 12 hours maybe, I don't know what time is it right now. It's like 10, almost going to be 11. So 12 hours from now, the new episode will premiere, and I will be in the chat watching it with you guys, and it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what you guys pick, which route you take, and comment in the comment section below what you like about it and stuff like that. And yeah. I will check you guys. I will see you guys later. I do stream before I leave. I want to say I do stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Wednesdays and Thursdays. Mondays and Thursdays, or Tuesday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Mondays and Thursdays, I usually play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So if you're not interested in that, you don't have to come. But on Wednesdays, I do play whatever. And if you have a recommendation, like a visual novel or something I should play, by all means let me know and I will play it on Wednesday. So yeah, as well, if you guys want to follow me, what I do, I have a Twitter. You can DM me if you want to talk, or Discord as well. You can join my Discord and all the social media stuff. You can follow me, that kind of stuff, in the description below. If you want to become a Patreon, that would be amazing. Of course, it's not obligated or anything. Like, just you guys being here alone is fantastic, and I love you guys for it. Other than that, thank you so much, guys. You've been great. Like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for like enjoying what I do, and I enjoy you guys for liking my stuff. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on the premiere of the finale of episode 8. And I think I've ranted for a little bit too much for too long. For some reason, I do this all the time. I don't know why, but yeah. All right, guys. Peace. And good night. How do I, what's a good way to end the stream?